I'm retro. Let's get it. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop. Yeah, it's lit in the chop shop. Turn your dials up in the drop top. They ain't based to debate, but they keep it fact straight. Going 30 for 30, let's do a first take. On Facebook Live from 12 to 2. Rob Hatter and Jim Hicks going back and forth like Claude Ray and Skip Bayless and Stephen Smith. From on the court, off the court, straight to the field. Not a man that steals, but I made it steal. To the octagon where I fight to kill. We go face to face, then you write your will. I don't play tennis, but I bring the racket. I'm on the floor, I attack the basket. Put you in the casket when I'm overlapping. Never showing mercy, cause I'm always snapping. Never showing mercy when I'm in the arena. Step into the ring, you see me as I beat him. Step into the court, I'm never backing down. Killing competition, I'm smacking down. Let me get back to the other stuff at the chop shop, cause they cutting up. It's retro, coming to you live to the chop shop. Now let's turn it up. Yeah, we in the chop shop, man. Shout out to Jim Hicks and Rob Hatter. You can catch the chop shop live from 12 to 2 on Facebook Live. Let's get it. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, we live in the chop shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the chop shop. We in the chop shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop.
H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, but we're broadcasting all over the entire world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And speaking of Facebook and YouTube Live, our first 5 women on Women Rock Wednesday. This Women Rock Wednesday, fellas, so you can't be a part of the first 5. So what happens every day, we affectionately call out the first 5 people that sign on to the page, either on YouTube or Facebook. Simultaneously, just pop up on the screen. But but today, it's only for the ladies. And let me call their names out. We got Sonia Billingsley, okay? Kim Jackson, Jessica Brooks, Trina Williams-Mouton, Kimberly Jackson. Let me go. I know I got some more. Hold on. Karen Thomas. I'm going past 5. Jim, I can count.
You said Kim Jackson twice.
Okay.
So she twice.
Guess what?
She twice as nice today.
Guess what? She's so nice I had to call her name twice. So let's go.
You sound like one of them old DJs at the skating ring. One of them skating ring DJs back in the day.
Yeah. And we got Jimmy, I'm finna call out all the women. I'm sorry. For first 5, I got Tyandra Holmes, Carolyn Sams. Who else I got on here? Hold up. Tori Raspberry. Man, let me call all my girls. Who else you got?
Yo.
Who?
Yolanda Green.
Yolanda Green. Keep on going. Who else I got?
We got Sonia Billingsley.
I called her first. Come on.
Okay.
I guess Sonia's so nice you had to call her twice. Okay. I got you. I like that. But hey, y'all, we're going to start off like this. You know, we have another Game 7 coming up tonight, my people. Okay? Got another Game 7. Very important thing, Game 7 for me. Just think about it, though, Jimmy, this for a minute. I just want everybody, Yolanda, Sonia, I want y'all to think about it for a minute. We saw Lillard go off for 60 points in the bubble. We saw the Raptors score 150 points in a playoff game, including 100 points from the bench. The Toronto Raptors, right? We saw Jamal Murray go off for 33 points in the second half of a playoff game last week. So It's been an offensive bubble to me, Jimmy, and an offensive lead. And suddenly, last night, we get the lowest scoring playoff game in 6 years. 80 to 78 when it counted the most. What do y'all make of that, man? I know I just said survive in advance. I don't care. Just survive in advance. But what do y'all, let me help y'all out. Jimmy, those last few possessions, I felt like I was watching the YMCA team. I ain't going to tell you no lie. I felt like Donovan Mitchell. Check this out, y'all. In case you didn't see it, Donovan Mitchell turns the ball over. Okay? Then Jamal Murray pushed the ball up even though he had a 2-point lead and could have just ran the timeout or let them foul him. And he passed the ball for a fast break layup instead of pulling it out. We'll talk about that later. Then some guy named Torrey Craig. Jimmy, you know when they mentioned Torrey Craig, I went and looked up his bio. Jimmy, what school? Guess what school Torrey Craig went to? College. Yeah, I ain't gonna get it. I ain't gonna even mess around. Jimmy, South Carolina upstate. I ain't never heard of that. Upstate. Somebody tell me where that is. I guess it's upstate. But he missed the layup, Jimmy. And then Michael Conley gets off a shot. No, he gets the ball from Rudy Gobert, got the rebound. He dribbled once. But I guess they said dribble once to get out of the way or whatever. He passed it up, and Donovan Mitchell over there, he didn't pout it because he got the ball stole. He's still on the other end of the court with his hand up, and Michael Conley shoot the ball that rims out. Jimmy, I called that March Madness last night. Women Rock Wednesday. Women, I want to know what the women think about that last night. And Jimmy, don't forget before I go, I got a Women Rock Wednesday topic because I know you would just run, not intentionally, but you would just run off and just forget about the little old women. But guess what? NASA astronaut Jeanette Epps. I mentioned her on this show before. Jimmy, she make history as the first black woman to join the International Space Station. It was happening the other day, and Jimmy, guess what? I got a little short video of her talking.
I'm super excited to join Sunny Williams and Josh Cassada on the first operational Boeing crew mission to the International Space Station. I've flown in helicopters with Sunny flying, and I've flown in the backseat of a T-38 with Josh flying. And they are both wonderful people to work with. So I'm looking forward to the mission. Thank you.
Let me tell y'all, this is a press release. Just it's women, black women rock. All women rock, but Boom Boom Room Women Rock today. They announced that Epps will join NASA astronaut Sunita Williams and Josh Cassada on a 6-month expedition to the International Space Station. It's planned to launch in 2021, man. It'll be her first space flight. 49-year-old aerospace engineer from Syracuse, New York, the first black woman to live and work aboard the station doing a long mission. And she also, forgive me, Deltas, she's also a proud member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha, the AKA sorority. Yeah. Why didn't you tell me, Jimmy, I had this thing in my ear? You know I don't like this in my ear. But I just want to let y'all know that women rock today. So, Jimmy, now that I got that off the top, what else we got? I know it's a whole lot of stuff I got, but what else you got today? You got a woman topic?
That was actually the lady that I was gonna put for Women Rock Wednesday.
That's all right. We think
was the astronaut story, but I got indirectly, and that is Women Rock Wednesdays, that there's a couple of black females that are owners of McDonald's, and McDonald's and the black owners up under that, the franchisees, they are filing a lawsuit against the fast food chain, a $1 billion racial discrimination lawsuit. And they're claiming that Like a lot of them had problems, and the corporation would give them bailouts, or help them a little bit. But the help that they would give them is what the owners would claim in the lawsuit as suicide missions, the financial suicide missions. That is, add the word financial in there. And so this is really, it hadn't got a lot of traction on mainstream media because of think about it, you think COVID made people scared. If black folk start letting that soak in what's going on, then that would be a poison pill possibly for the urban community, or those McDonald's that are located in the urban communities. If they was to take a stand and all of a sudden go across the street to one of the other fast food chains and take their dollars. So this is something like to keep your eye on in regards to that. But let's talk let's get back on these playoffs. You mentioned the Nuggets and the Jazz, and I watched some of that game in the second half. I didn't watch any of the first half, and I picked it up right around the top of the fourth quarter. I might have caught the most of the fourth quarter of the game, and I was going back and forth with that game with the Houston Rockets. I mean the Astros last night. But I mean Rudy Gobert. I mean it's one of those things you look at it and you say, well, first of all, I mentioned Rudy Gobert, 19 points, 18 rebounds in this. He went out with a bang. Donovan Mitchell, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 9 turnovers are magnified. But you see what's happening and pay attention. Donovan Mitchell, he was so fascinating. And he gets the pass on the 9 turnovers. And it's definitely not the first time this series that Donovan Mitchell had a fingerprints in the loss, in this series. Remember that 8-second call early on in the first game. I mean, and it was another time I don't have it in front of me, but Donovan Mitchell, once again, his passion that was exhibited. Although that last little old play when he fell on the floor could have been perceived as pouting, but the passion that he gave throughout that series, based on the fact that they entered the bubble with him and Rudy Gobert not all the way on the same page after the COVID. Remember, Gobert was the NBA player that got some of the blame when the COVID came because he mocked the COVID-19 and during the interview and kind of like was playing with himself and touching everything. And next thing you know, a couple of days later, that's when that game was canceled, which dominoed effect the entire NBA shutting it down in March. Well, could this game keep them together? That's the thing. Because obviously this Utah, Mike
Conley. I'm gonna tell you why this
Conley,
game gonna keep them together. That extension that they're gonna give Donovan Williams, it's gonna keep them together.
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell. I don't know why I keep calling him Donovan. Jimmy, is your device over there a little loud? If you got to turn it down a little bit. Because I
don't know. We can put it down now. And so okay. I'm looking now. Mike Conley was a great pickup for them. He's certain now because the pressure is off of him, and he get a chance to teach Donovan Mitchell as he goes along and get the psychological component of the game. And remember, Mike Conley, he did not have a good game last night offensively. He didn't. He did not shoot that thing well at all last night. I mean, it was 2 for 13. And that last ball did to Nick Wise. That's what I call it back in the state championship of 2006. When Kingwood played Plano, and they had a little kid named John Roberson, and Nick Wise went in the ball. He let one go at the Irwin Center at the buzzer, and the ball rolled around inside and came out, and it broke the hearts of the Kingwood fans in that dynasty that was Kingwood that went to state 3 out of 4 years. But back to this game right here. Jordan Clarkson, he finished with 10 points, but 1 for 5 from the 3-point land. You know, Ingles 1 for 5 from 3-point land. Conley was 1 for 6 from 3-point land. Ross O'Neal 1 for 4 from 3-point land. Donovan Mitchell was 2 for 8.
You call that choking? I mean, what you call that? No. They're not good enough players for you to call them chokers. Okay.
Yeah, they not. That's what I'm getting to. That's what I was getting to with Donovan Mitchell. Right. Let me tell you something. If James Harden produces that very same box score tonight, even in the same vicinity, 22 points, 9 rebounds, that's great. Just say he ain't got to have 9 assists. 22 points, 9 rebounds is great.
Jimmy, he do that in his sleep.
I'm not talking about for Jay. I'm talking about that's great for Donovan Mitchell. 22 points, 9 rebounds. That's great.
Okay. It's great for the regular guys. Okay, I got you.
Well, 2 points. But nine turnovers. People discounted. People are bringing it up, but he gets a mullet pass because it's your first rodeo. Well, it's your second rodeo.
You know why I'm
not
going to give him a pass? Because when he turned the ball over, he quit and laid on the floor and didn't get back into play and hang back. And I watched that play over and over and over again. Jamal Murray passed the ball to Torrey, the guy Torrey I just mentioned to you, the guy from South Carolina upstate. He missed the layup. Jamal Murray, that was Jimmy. Bob Knight said something real key to me a long time ago. Well, he said to me, I just listened to him on TV. He said, dumb loses more games than smart wins. And really and truly, that was a bonehead play by Jamal Murray. I mean, dude, you don't know time. What's the point guard? They tell the point guards, what my basketball people, that what Ken Gamble. Play fast, but think the game slow. Play fast, but look at the game slow. If you didn't know that, if you haven't told your son that, or drilled him, or conditioned him, play the game fast, but think it slow. Mike Conley made a great play. He went down. He didn't waste no time and went down. And they talking about he should have passed the ball to the guy who hanging court, who didn't get back down the court. No. That
wasn't a good pass. That was a cross pass.
He did the right thing.
When you chasing the clock down, that ain't a good pass. Bottom line is they had opportunity to win, and if that ball rolls off, like I said, if that ball rolls off James Harden's leg, not roll off his leg, he gets the ball poked out from behind him, or turns it over. That bottom line, no matter how it happens, let him turn that ball over with 10 seconds to go. Let James Harden lay on that floor and watch what happens tomorrow. The whole narrative, that's what I'm trying to explain. You see the exact same thing.
Why would you try to paint a doom and gloom picture of James Harden and what the Rockets do? I mean, you gotta have it. You know but you'll say and go use these you use these crafty jailhouse analogies and come back and tell me, well, I said this and I said that. But every time every negative analogy you can use. If James Harden turned that ball over like that,
that's not a negative analogy. That's the same thing. That's the same thing as every week you hear somebody saying.
Jimmy, why did you say Russell Westbrook if he turned the ball over? Because it don't matter if Russ turned it over.
Because what I'm saying, the Houston fans have not they don't have the same sentiment for Russell Westbrook as they do James Harden. This is James Harden's team. And they've seen James Harden a couple of times in the postseason with his in the losses.
Jim, I ain't talking about what you talking about people. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. Your analogy. So you speaking for the people.
I'm speaking for the people. Yes.
Jimmy, you don't know all the people. Because I know some people right now don't agree with you.
Okay, guess what? And that's how life goes. But at the same time, the guy that writing the newspaper, he don't know the damn all the fans. And his opinion is going to be based on, and they say all the time.
I just said that's your opinion.
Understand everything that somebody says.
But you said you speaking for the people.
Every evaluation of or analysis of a player is your opinion. Now you might go and include some factuals or some stats to support your eval, but that's your eval or your analysis, and that's just how it is. Like I said, there are people. There are people every week that look at stuff. We see things on the news, and they just had a situation with a police officer and a white guy last week when the white guy didn't want to get out of his truck and he bucking the police officer and the first thing people say, what if that was a black guy, he'd be dead. If that was a black guy, that would be so and so. So what I'm saying is, if that was James Harden, he would be, and you can fill in the blank. If that was James Harden, and that down the stretch, what Donovan Mitchell did.
Y'all already doing Jimmy. Y'all already do him like that. Y'all already do him like that anyway.
No.
Y'all already, Jimmy, you sit there and wrote down all of his playoff failures and talked about them. So y'all already do it. So what are you talking about? Y'all already.
But understand. We've done it in the past. And now there's optimism amongst some that are hoping that you can one day get over that wall and break the hurdle and say, you know what, no more. You know, it's kind of like that thing when we saw with Paul. Understand, Paul George going to a funk, even though we understand that the mental health played a portion of it, as he stated after the presser of going at 35 points the last week. But guess what? If Paul George goes back and he came 35, he played decent. He hadn't had that monster takeover type performance in the next game afterwards.
He ain't never had no takeover for winning. Paul George is a self-proclaimed playoff P.
He called himself that.
So he ain't never had no game like that.
He named himself that.
But
playoff P.
All I'm saying is, we already know. Y'all already have documented you and all these people every time. All I try to do is hold up. On this show, I defend the guy who everybody talks about. And
I got a question.
Hold on. Let me finish. And I'm not going to let you and Tom Tucker and any other tell me who I should like as a basketball player. I would be, if I'm the only one, if I like this certain player, just like if I like this player, I'm going to defend him and talk about his positives. And that's all I do. And you clowns who don't understand that, then it's up to y'all. I'm not going to sit up here and just say, well, okay.
Tell me this.
Whatever y'all say about James. Okay.
Understand what you just said. Understand. You just acknowledged that the people reserved have a difference of opinions, and that's perfectly fine. Then you just came back and called them clowns because their opinion is contrast with yours.
No. Jimmy, you practicing not listening like the rest. You got selective listening. I'm saying the clowns that say something to me about addressing the positive things about James Harden. Of course, to me, they're clowns. Yes. Because if you ever listen to me, I sit here yesterday. I said it the other day, the last 3 days. I said James Harden might not be Dame Lillard. Here you go. What you mean? What you mean? What you mean? Slow down and listen. You had your comment out your mouth before I even finished. I said Lillard. So
Now, you the pro at that.
no.
You the professional at that.
Hold up. Can I finish? And all I'm trying to say is, I sit and explain to you, he might not be that clutch player, but that don't stop me from admiring his offensive and now his defensive talents. Jimmy, let me tell you something. I would rather, I'm like an eagle. Eagles always fly alone. I don't want to be with the crowd. You can speak for the crowd. I'm an eagle. I fly by myself. So, and guess what? And I will forever, ever be defending defending if you come out and say something that I think is not fair to James Harden. That's just the way it is. That's all. And that, if y'all understand that, then it won't be so much of a thing. I mean, gosh, yes. If I like, Lori always wanted her about, Lori, I defend your son the same way. When the Knicks was getting their head tore off, I always defended the Knicks, no matter what nobody said. If I like a person, I don't care what the people say, Jimmy. The people don't move me, baby. The people just don't move me. The people move you. They don't move me. You know, it just don't move me. You come in at any time now. People just don't move me. I'm done.
You saying people don't move you, but you are obviously moved every time the word James Harden is spewed in a negative connotation. So you can't say that people
James
don't.
Harden.
Like the person
James,
is saying,
Jimmy,
that's
they
like the
can
person
talk
that say-
about, they can talk.
That's what I'm saying. Hold on. You just said, go ahead on and talk. The word ready to come out your mouth. And you just said a while ago, the word ready to come out your mouth before I get it out of mine. It ain't reached your ears yet.
But you got incorrect facts about me. See, your problem is you try to attack. Hold up. Your problem is you try to attack me personally. I don't want to. You ain't worth attacking personally.
You just said that it don't move you, and sure as shit stink. You being moved every time somebody bring it up. Bottom line is like this: it is what it is. With him, it is what it is. That's what comes with it. And once again, remember this series of first round exit was not even on the menu for the Rockets. We just,
why not? Why not if they got the same identical records? Why not? If they got the same identical records, why not?
OKC was not being exited, being ousted.
Excuse me,
Understand?
sir. Excuse me.
Understand?
Excuse
Who
me.
picked to lose the first round?
If they have the same identical records, it's the 4th and the 5th seed.
Absolutely. Kendrick Perkins said all that this morning on the show, on ESPN.
I don't watch ESPN in the morning before the show.
Out of what their records are with them two. Nobody picked the Rockets to lose in 7 games to these guys.
So what you mean it don't matter? Since you want to quote, hold up. Since you want to quote Kendrick Perkins, it don't matter. So what you saying? It don't matter. It don't matter.
That win-loss record don't matter.
So what
in regard to what the money is and what expectations.
What matters?
As far as two Hall of Famers.
What matters? A Hall of Famer that didn't play for 3 games. But what matters?
Oh, now don't play for 3 games. But that's not. Listen, they were up. They were up ahead. Remember, I explained yesterday in the
2 Hall of Famers.
They've won. They've dominated in their wins. Over 60 points combined in 3 wins. Each one of the losses has been a close loss.
Jimmy, hold up. Jimmy, I'm done with you because I got you. Tim Littlefield, who James Harden make better? Thank you. Thank you for saying that. First of all, Gerald Green was on his damn couch, Tim Littlefield, playing with his dog in the dressing room. He came in and got him some millions. Daniel House was out the league. Didn't nobody ever want him thinking about him, and he got him back in the league. James Harden got him some money. Whoa, don't stop there. What's his name? Ben McLemore, who was cast off from everybody. James Harden got him on the team. He might get a check. Austin Rivers, he's a daddy's boy. He done came to this team. Tim Littlefield, all I'm telling you, before y'all come at me, y'all better do your homework. All I'm telling you, I've sit and announced, and all you people, get your ears and wax, clean your ears. James Harden might not be the clutch player y'all want him to be. Might not be. But I'd rather have him than 99% of them people y'all talking about. And that's just my opinion on how I like to see the game played. It ain't no knock on nobody else's, but every time, well, he didn't do this. I had 32 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds. He didn't do this. In his losses, he got to have I said something on this show. I said, I'd rather see James Harden score 20 points and win. I'm not talking about the wins. I'm talking about the losses. I'm talking about the wins because I want him to win to advance. So we just thinking different. So Tim Littlefield, go back and see how many people like LeBron that got off the scrap heap. That's all I'm saying. Don't say he's not making people better, because he's allowing people to come on his team that didn't nobody work and win 50-some, didn't nobody want and win 50-some games every year. So he must be getting somebody better. Rest my case.
Besides
I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Tim Littlefield.
Yeah, but you act like Chris Paul went on the team when Daniel House played and was getting assists and receiving those balls. You act like Daniel House Chris Paul didn't play last year or the last 2-3 years before then. Ben McLemore is the only player that joined the Rockets that you just mentioned that wasn't there when Chris Paul was there. And Chris Paul has been when he's with the Rockets is Mr. Clutch. He's Mr. Clutch. And that's the thing we're talking when James Harden, different people are measured by different rulers. Now, the measuring stick and the ruler that is used towards James Harden is obviously, as I pointed out earlier, ain't the same ruler that's used for Donovan Mitchell. I just said that. And so same measuring stick.
Jimmy, I'll let you address this one. I'm going to let you address this one. I just gave this guy, and you wanted to belittle the fact that I just gave you, talking about Chris Paul. Okay, I'll let you have it. He said yesterday, I mentioned he need help. He doesn't empower the other players. Jimmy, would you go and look at the damn stats of the other game? Tim Littlefield, I don't know if you played basketball or not, okay? I don't know. I know you watch a lot of it. But how many players you done seen in your life that all you got to do is stand your ass in a corner, wide open, and shoot a 3-point shot? Can you imagine how many points some of us would have had if I got a guy on my team that demands so much attention, Tim Littlefield, so much attention that all I got to do is stand my behind in the corner and wait and shoot it. So guess what? I would be in the gym every day at my house in the corner shooting wide open shots, hoping that I can make them. So guess what? He give them the opportunity to get better. You can't make nobody get better, Tim Littlefield, but the opportunities are there. Go look at it. Jimmy, you the stat man. Go look at the wide open threes that all of them guys missed. Wide open in the corner. Hold up, Jimmy. The reason I keep mentioning corner, in case you don't know, in the corner is the shortest three-pointer. It's the shortest of all of them. That's why guys try to space out to the corners. It's the shorter, Tim. So that's all I'm trying to say. I'm just giving y'all facts. I'd rather y'all just say, I hate James Harden, Hannah. Then I understand that, like Jimmy did. So I understand that.
No.
Well, that's the way I took it. That's the way I took it.
Jimmy ain't never said that.
Well, guess what?
Jimmy
that's
ain't
the way
never said.
Hey, that's the way I
whole
perceived
thing.
it.
When you understand, you have a blindness, and you have a consistent ability to take words what people say and you change them to other words, then you'll come back and say, well, that's what it meant to me. That ain't what, and then even after a person said that ain't what he meant. And then you turn around and say, that's what you meant.
No.
After a person, after the subject says that is not what I meant, and you say, yes, you did.
It's how I perceived it.
That's not.
Guess
hold
what?
on.
Guess what?
Even after, once again, even after
I'm a spirit
person
field man.
says,
guess what?
That is not what I
know
meant.
your spirit. The spirit in which
you
say.
Stop. Oh man, let's go. Hey, we go to the break and come back and talk.
Yeah, that went over your head. That went over your head. But I know what I'm talking about.
We'll talk some more basketball. We come back on the Chop Shop, guys. You hang right there. Make sure you share the show. The Chop Shop. We got more for you with NBA talk on the Chop Shop.
Oh, etched across the face of Mitchell, and the respect from two guys that will be tied together for a long time.
Between that, look, you guys both look gassed, both sides, and the Clippers we know is going to be a rugged test. Between now and Thursday, what do you do?
We play Thursday?
You
don't get 2 days off?
No, it's Thursday.
Man, well, that's a bummer.
Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. And Jimmy, it's a good time to share the show. Invite, share, comment. I love your comments. Y'all give me fuel to talk about. Keep coming, because I'm going to keep coming at you now. But I would like for y'all to do, if you're not a subscriber to our YouTube page, go over there, man. And it's some big things about to happen over in YouTube. So go over there, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, and it'll give you notification. So guess what? It's Women Rock Wednesday, and I know y'all saw that. I had to show that those kids coming back, this family, Van Fleet, his family. But Jimmy, I'm noticing these dudes are welcoming them families back, and then getting both of and Greek Freak and got their head tore off. Little mama, they couldn't wait to get mama. But Jimmy, they got all them kids. Hold up, I'm trying to see. They got all them kids. They must got to have an extra room, and they got all them kids in the same room. They must have to have an extra room.
The families is staying. They're not staying in the same.
The families don't stay with the players.
No, because that means the families will be around the players. Right. Yeah.
So, but you can go over there. But the players can go over there, can't they?
Yeah, they're in the same hotel, maybe a different floor.
Yeah, they are in the same. Yeah. But I'm just saying, when them wives and them girlfriends came to town, some people look like they didn't have no legs the next day. I'm just saying, it's Women Rock Wednesday.
Hey, a whole month.
They was raping themselves for a whole month.
They say it's a shortage of lotion around the hotel. They say lotion gone. I mean, hey, if you play the market, you might want to go get any one of the soap stocks, and the soap sales are up.
Yeah, but Jimmy, you had a topic. I guess it's a great time right now. You want to wait? Let's talk about the topic. We got we got people.
We got the topic, and first I'm gonna get Tiffany's question, and that is something that's going on special this weekend.
Okay.
But first, Tiffany asked a good question. I saw a couple other people ask that question earlier or make reference to it. But since she's the female on Women Rock Wednesday, I will address everybody but directly through Tiffany. She says, "What the hell, Jimmy got that hat on? He trying to hoodoo the Rockets." So I want to define why I wore my Houston Rocket cap. and it has an R on it. I call it my rally cap. Here's the thing. First of all,
Hold up.
I've been a fan of the Houston Rockets since I was a little boy. Remember now, there was a period when the Rockets, expectations wasn't as high coming on through. Then you got Mo Malone and all those guys, Billy Pauch, the Whopper, and all those guys. But there are teams, if you think about it, there are professional teams that fans love, and they hadn't won Diddy. Now the Rockets, when it came into those 90s, and we put together those back-to-back championships, hey, that was great time. So been a fan of the Rockets all the way on through. Now, as you grow older, then people that's been within the front office and in the coaching staff, on the team. And that's the thing. Whereas with the Rockets, I want John Lucas to have his job. John Lucas is like my uncle. So I want him to have his job more than I don't want, just say, the Rockets to win. So I want him to have his job. So for him to have his job, they got to win, because the coach is going to be fired. I've said that before. Stephen A. went on this rant recently. I broke that down. We on Top Shop a month and a half ago. Well, a month ago when they first got into the bubble. So therefore, John.
That's got to be hard on you, Jimmy. That's got to be really hard on you. I've been a Rockets fan since I was a little boy, but this one player that's on this team, I just can't find myself to. If he's successful, that means the Rockets got to be successful.
There's a difference between love and in love. Big difference. Big difference. I'm not in love with the Houston Rockets. I just love the Houston Rockets. Understand?
I believe you do.
I could love. Listen, and one thing about love, if you know, because you've been in holy matrimony before.
Yeah.
One thing about love, you can love a person but don't like them. Remember that.
Hold on, Jimmy. Say that one more time. Can I put you something in the tip jar? Hold on.
Love a person but don't like them.
Yes, sir.
So I leave it at that. Regardless, so that means there's some players. That's how it goes. But for the big scope of things,
I'm with that.
I love the Houston Rockets, but I'm not in love with them. Now, do I know people that are in love with them? Ooh, man, I know some people that go crazy behind these Houston Rockets. They go berserk. They gonna be in front of their TV, talking to their TV, losing their minds at a certain point. I really believe that. I mean, the Houston Rockets, I really believe that all signs point for them to just smoking the hell out of Oklahoma tonight.
I don't know. I'm glad you feel that way.
But guess what? Chris Paul, understand something, because Chris Paul gave them bullet board material.
Oh, he shouldn't have said that. Yeah, he shouldn't have said that.
After the game.
Yeah.
And if you didn't see it or didn't hear it, I'll basically read it off to you.
Read it to him.
What Chris Paul says. He said, it is after the win the other night. So now it's after the game 6. Mm-hmm. He says, when it gets to clutch time, fourth quarter, some people are built for it. And some people shy away from it.
Yes.
Now, at practice yesterday with the Rockets, they know exactly who he was directing that statement to. He was directing that to James Harden. And so just law of averages. If you could never answer the bell, you got to answer that bell tonight. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no way in the world this man could sit there and say this.
You know who got to answer that bell, Jimmy? Russell Westbrook got to answer that bell too now. So I know y'all love it. Jimmy.
Russell, absolutely. Russell got to answer the bell. But I don't think, understand, for Russell think about it. He played good, people say, in a 7-point game and played bad in the 17-point game.
I got a question. Don't y'all hold up. Jimmy, let me talk to my people. Somebody just said, how do your nephew got to show up? I've said that a million times, I think, Jimmy. I was mad at James. I said it. I said James ain't Dame. James ain't Kobe. He ain't that type of dude. He the dude, he might not hit it at the end. He'll carry your, he'll carry your Jimmy your water up the hill, right? But James gonna expect you to carry some the rest of the way. He ain't finna go up there and carry the water up there and pour you the drink and pour the drink in your mouth. You gonna have to drink some yourself. Listen, y'all got to hear me, Rick. I understand his shortcomings, but I just like the way he scored that basketball. If y'all just get that and understand that when you play basketball and you see people that just got ability just to get to the basket, get to the hole, and kick the gas off there, I don't see that. You don't see that too much. That's why y'all was so enamored by Dame. James do it every night. But Dame brought him back. What's the boy name? Jamal Murray. He brought him back. But then Jamal Murray go have a couple of games, and Jimmy came back and said he stunk it up 14-17. He said he never thought he'd be so happy, Jamal Murray.
And my last thing about the Rockets, guys, and it's just in all, understand. Mm-hmm. The basketball fan inside of me, I really want to see the Rockets versus the Lakers way more than I want to see Oklahoma City versus the Lakers.
It don't matter.
I really, just like I said before about the other series, I'd rather see Denver play the Clippers versus Utah play the Clippers. I just would rather see it that. I would rather. Who's going to tune in?
But Jimmy, sometimes, so you don't want to see nobody else win. You just want to see the favorites win all the time. You are a front runner. No. Sometimes it's all right for the underdog or the other guy. It's all right.
No. Let me tell you why. Because the Lakers, don't get it twisted. They put a knockout punch on Portland in the game that Dame went down in. But if the Rockets in this neutral site, I think them and the Lakers is a six-game series. The way that they play,
I think they can beat the Lakers, Jim.
And it's a six-game at the worst case scenario. With the OKC, the basketball fan would get shortchanged because that series is a sweep or a 5 at the worst case scenario. So that means there's going to be a night when you're going to be sitting around, and I know the new season on the new fall television shows about to start coming on in another week and a half, another week or so, but it's going to be a night ain't going to be on. You're going to want some basketball. So you want to see a little test here now. So
you are of the school that it's got to be a certain team for you to play to enjoy it. And I would have loved to see Utah there. I've never been there because when I go back and look at history, if people just go back and look at history, ain't but a handful of teams that won the championship. Ain't but a handful of the Lakers, the Boston, and the people like that. Just go back and look at your history. But Jimmy, I wanted to share something with everybody, and it might be overlooked because somebody called me this morning about it, Kimberly. And Kimberly talking about, I don't know what she's talking about. But guess who refereeing the game tonight, Jimmy? My homeboy Scott Foster, who can't stand that little midget, Chris Paul. He can't listen. Scott Foster, Pat Freya, and Tony Brown is calling this game tonight. Listen to me, y'all, and we're gonna finish up on this one, Jimmy. I really don't put what happened the other night on James' shoulder like y'all do. We just disagree. It's okay. Russell struggled throughout the game, and I'm telling you, he had a whole lot of turnovers. And I looked again. I'm going to go back and look. Jeremy. They run that same particular action that they usually run on that last play, Jimmy, where Russell starts with the ball, he gets himself to the elbow and throws it back to James. But Jimmy, that play never materialized, and to me, that's on Russell, the guard with the ball. I'm going to tell you why. That's why, coaches, y'all help me out here. You got to hold on to that dribble and back it out and find a way. Russell right now is beating himself in the brain because I just know how he think. He know he should have been more patient on that play. See, Chris Paul, what you said, Jimmy? We just built for these moments. And I'm going to tell y'all something. And I really like Chris Paul. If my son called me and got on me because I didn't say a lot of great things about Chris Paul. He said, but Dad, that's all you told me to model his leadership all through my career. And I did. And I realized it's only a handful of guys can do the things that Chris Paul. He's very vocal. He's a leader, unafraid to challenge teammates, and he challenges coaches. And now he's challenging society. So I love Chris Paul. I've even came on this show and told y'all what he did to get this bubble. If it wasn't for Chris Paul, this bubble won't happen. And I saw something. There's a few guys, Jimmy, like this, a handful of guys. Jimmy Butler right now, Chris Paul, LeBron, and KD. I'm going to show you how much clout Jimmy Butler had. Joel Embiid hasn't tweeted in a month. In a whole month. Go back and look at it. When Jimmy Butler did what he did the other night, he tweeted twice. Those the kind of impact these guys have on the other players around the team. That's who Chris Paul really is. And guess what? James just might not have that. He might not have that. But I'm still all right with it, though. That's all. So if y'all are big enough to stick y'all chests out and talk about it, be willing. I'm going to come back at you. I'm sorry. So, Jimmy, let's talk about Jimmer's. We need some teams for Jimmer's event this weekend.
Man, I can't believe you just slid over and
didn't give you a chance.
No, with the other game last night.
Which other game? No, we can wait. What other game? Oh, Boston beat the brakes off them boys.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
that's new, man.
Okay, let's talk about it. I'm sorry,
nobody. Who in the hell saw who saw that? I mean, understand that game. That series I thought was a pick'em. You know, you can make a case for either side because Toronto had really been playing some good basketball. But then the way that Boston, it started off with what's his name, Kimber. He started off ice cold.
Jimmy, he been cold, Jimmy. His leg messed up.
And well, I mean, his hand ain't messed up. But you know, I understand. But I mean, legs has something to do with it. But his hand ain't messed up. He started off ice cold and did not have a good shoe night. But he put down that crossover, and I mean, it went back to UConn days. I mean, what Marcus Smart is what you call being a star in your role.
Unbelievable.
And that's what you see with Marcus Smart. And see, being from Texas, we got to see Marcus Smart come through the ranks. And Marcus Smart has been probably one of the most winningest players. If you combine the grassroots wins and the high school wins, I'm not sure if there's another player who actually won more games, one individual player in the modern day history of Texas. When I say, if you was to combine their grassroots wins and their high school wins, and then take that on through as an amateur, Marcus Smart, he has been a kid that you could see it coming a mile away. Now he gets there, they put him back in the starting lineup. Hal, remember he was coming off the bench. So Brad Stevens.
Then Haywood got hurt, Jimmy.
Yeah, Haywood got hurt.
Yeah.
And so I mean you had choices. So I mean he put him on up in there. And guess what? And we thought about it. I said, man, this team could possibly be better no, I mean, right, for the short term. And it's the short term without Hayward. I mean, man, 19 points from Marcus Smart, man, and it's 6 for 11 from 3. He was getting it in. Then you think about, hey, no, else played well? The boy from Louisiana, from Texas A&M, Robert Williams.
I love him. I love him. See, Jimmy, he can smoke down there without no. He can smoke down there. They ain't worried about him smoking. He can go do what the hell he want to in the bubble. He all right.
No, they ain't smoking. They taking the gummies and the other stuff. They ain't.
Hey, Jimmy,
they ain't smoking.
Jimmy. Okay. Okay.
You think somebody bought the bag in there?
They smoking. Now, I'm gonna just leave it like that. They smoking.
And the thing is, here's the thing about Toronto that you got. You know what's so funny? How long has it been since we've heard they have a perennial all-star on this team? That's Kyle Lowry. We know Siakam made it this year. Kyle Lowry has been in the all-star game for the last few years up there. And all we're hearing is Van Fleet. So this, during the middle of the playoffs, is not the appropriate time to pass, to blow your candle out. Put it like that.
I got a question
and
for you.
And that's what it seems like Kyle Lowry's doing, huh?
Who are the top players right now, everybody? Jimmy, write them down. Who are the top players in the East right now? Right now, in the playoffs right now, who are the top players in the East? I want to show you something. Who are the top players? Give me a name, y'all. Okay, Greek Freak. I go there. Greek Freak. Let's go. Jason Tatum. I'll give y'all them two.
In no particular order.
No particular. I'm just giving
you got Tatum. You got Jimmy Butler.
Okay, Jimmy Butler. Okay. All right.
And we're talking about, you're talking about the Eastern Conference.
The Eastern Conference
right?
only. The guys.
Or you talking about the playoffs right now?
The playoffs. The 4 teams is left, right?
Oh, okay. That's what I want to make sure you talk about. 4 teams
left. Who are the best players? Let's get them. So we wouldn't put Jaylen Brown? I put him there.
Well,
yes.
Kyle Lowry isn't. He's on the way out, but he's not playing the best. But Kyle Lowry is still one of those top 5.
I wouldn't put him in no top 5 right now, Jimmy. Not right now. He ain't playing.
That's what I'm saying.
Jimmy,
You basing it, but
Jimmy, I wouldn't put Russell Westbrook. Would you put Russell Westbrook in anybody's top 5 right now?
No. Not if you're basing it on what you've done in the last 3 weeks. But if you're talking about
I'm talking about in this bubble. Let me make the panorama. In this bubble right now, these 4 teams that's playing right now, who is the top players right now? Spicy P, that's one of them. Okay.
You got in the Eastern Conference, you got Greek Freak, you got Jimmy Butler, you got Tatum. You can go with Van Fleet.
You wouldn't put Kemba?
No.
Van Fleet is not playing better than Kemba. There's no kind of way.
What do you mean? You hold on. So now you're just talking about this series.
No,
now you discount what Van Fleet did last series.
So you will put Van Fleet over Kemba Walker?
His productivity.
Jimmy, I have to come up to the Jimmy. Didn't they just play 2 games and Van Fleet was 0 for 0 for? You got to count them games.
Understand what you're just saying. You understand? You just can't take the 2 games and being the momentum guy, taking the 2 and discounting what he did before then.
Okay. See, I thought this was my thing. So, but I'm gonna let you have your parameter. So you can put whoever you want in there. I'm just give me the number. So you wouldn't have Kemba nowhere in there? One of the best players?
Kemba was 1 for 8 from 3-point land last night.
Would Marcus Smart be one of your best players?
That's if you basing on this series only, Harold. That's what I'm saying. You got to lay.
Jimmy, they won. Jimmy, they won. They slipped them. They swept their first series. Boston did. Come on, they got a coach fired, Jimmy.
Okay.
So they've been playing well.
We know they've been playing. Who said they wasn't playing well?
But you
Marcus
you
Smart.
saying I'm basing it on one series.
That's what I'm saying. That's you keep going to what he just did last night or 2 games. When I mentioned Van Fleet, Van Fleet had 19 points last night. Marcus Smart numbers is probably better than Kimba numbers over these 2 series.
Okay.
If you take the 2 series,
All I'm saying is, it's no surprise to me that Boston beating these guys. Because I think Jaylen Brown, and then if Gordon Hayward ain't played, he one of the best. And I tell you what, we won't even worry about it. We'll just save the best players then. The best players who's supposed to be on these teams then. Is that better for you? Would that help you out a little bit? Okay. The best players who's supposed to be on these teams.
so that means Kyle Lowry goes back to the forefront.
I wouldn't put him on the forefront, bro. I just wouldn't. I just
That means
don't.
Siakam. That means Siakam and Kyle Lowry is 1A and 1B for Toronto.
Okay. You can
Van
have
Fleet
them.
ain't no
I
All-Star
just
game.
don't, Jimmy.
That means you gotta add Bam.
We got 2 different
You gotta add
basketball
Bam. You
opinions.
gotta put Bam on there. Bam had 17 rebounds the other night.
Okay.
Bam was an all-star.
Good Bam.
So the all-star means you got
I
a trigger.
put it like this. Which one of them teams? See, I ain't talking about no all-star. See, now you got to go with that again. So I tell you what, all I'm saying is Boston, I'm not surprised at Boston that they're winning. I'm just not surprised. Olga, hey, somebody get Olga right quick. Olga said Luka Doncic. I can't believe that came out of her mouth right now.
Well, no, understand. She
said
probably
East
just
10
tuned
times.
in. And that's what I'm saying. She probably just tuned in. You didn't hear that.
Olga been on here for an hour, Jim.
That don't mean she was paying attention.
Okay.
I mean,
That's right.
you know, they
Hey,
got the Young and the Restless on TV and all my children. She might have been doing some other stuff while she watching. I mean, now, I mean that's the way you got to look at it. Like I say, Siakam. I mentioned Bam. You know, and so those are the 4. And then Chris Middleton made the All-Star game. I mean,
I keep trying to tell you, and you just don't. I think you don't really understand. You know, because you make an all-star game and you're not playing like an all-star. That's different. See, I like how you play. See, people, wait a minute, excuse me. Ain't all-star game, ain't that's half a regular season award that you really don't give warrant to, because I know a certain guy, I don't care how many regular season awards he got in MVPs, you don't care. So now you want to worry about an all-star game?
Well, an all-star is a validation, and that's a merit that a lot of people that once you get to that plateau, then you got all-stars, then you got superstars. You know, but an all-star means that you, for a certain period of time, from the beginning of the season going into the midway break, then you were designated as one of the top players in the league and of the whole league, because they combine them as no more East and West.
Well, the point
right?
I was just trying to make, I think Boston got a better team than anybody over there.
Oh,
so
I mean,
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm talking about they got 4 or 5 players that bona fide going to get it right now. And when I watched that first round matchups, and I watched how they was just thoroughly, they got a coach fired, man. They got a coach fired, Nate McMillan.
Hell, guess what? OKC can get one fired tonight.
Well, he was gonna get fired. Jimmy, he in a 1-year deal. This man, they got to still pay this guy. Hold up.
I understand. If he win, he gets to live to see another day.
Jimmy, they still got to pay Nate McMillan. He has some more money. He has some more money left on this contract.
But the thing is, understand, the thing is with Mike D'Antoni is they offered him an extension.
He didn't want that little mess.
He agreed. They believe that he agreed to the extension. But then his agent got the paperwork and say, hell, man, you lost your mind. We don't do this like this. You know, so then that's where everything went south. So that means some guys feel like, man, you had a deal. You agreed and not understand. You know, they know the business. They realized, well, I understand we might have to deal, but it still had to go through. That's what my representation had to go and look over it. They found some stuff that was of question, and that's the thing. And speaking of Tillman Fertitta, how about this, man? As we go and we move on and we talk about the young lady and the benefit this weekend. Got a call this morning from a college coach and a college head coach, and it's time they calling on the Chop Shop to to rally everybody together. And I just sometimes it's just you're not paying attention, but it's really bad down in Lake Charles, guys. It's really bad down there. From what I'm hearing, I haven't seen it, but they're saying that, I mean, you can only imagine. We've all been, well, most of us have seen devastations after a natural disaster. And they say a lot of people, man, are without down there. And we probably have to go and call. And I lost all my messages and a lot of my numbers of anybody who contacted me before November of 2019. So I don't have certain numbers in my phone anymore, nor messages. And because the coach called and asked me about the company, what it was, the Black Red Cross, who we joined forces with and took an 18-wheeler of supplies to Beaumont 2 years ago.
I can get it for you.
That wasn't 2 years ago. That was last year.
Last year.
Yeah. And he was wanting to know, we call those people and they can fire up the diesel truck and hook it up and say, man, it's really bad down there. And the basketball team is having to relocate and to another city to conduct their activities and stuff. But so if you have relatives down there, let us know if you have folk down there. Because we're trying to, that way we know who to make sure we try to include if we get down to Lake Charles, and maybe give you guys a chop shop from down there in the next week or so. But that is, and Tillman Fertitta, I didn't realize the Golden Nugget is closed again. So he's really taking hits in 2020, the owner of the Rockets. I mean, you have to, at some point, you don't, he's taking hits. Nobody, then at a community where that casino employs a great percentage of the population in Lake Charles. These people ain't at work now. They out of work, at least for the temporarily. Then you know how this stuff go. You don't bring everybody back at once. You phase them back in. Because different people are essential to certain businesses. But I just want to put that on your heart, guys.
You said the college, Jimmy, had to the players got to
the
find
basketball
team.
To be. Yeah, they've been looking around. Somebody reached out to me, and I have a place, so I got to call a coach and see if they hadn't confirmed it. But I have the perfect place for them, the perfect place that McNeese can go. Now I do know Lamar reached out to them, but then they're in the same conference, so sometimes you may not feel comfortable going through your stuff. But then it's bigger than basketball. That's your neighbor. They offering you come on over there. You shouldn't be thinking about along those lines. If Lamar is trying to sneak and film your workouts or your private, then that's some writing stuff on Lamar. So you're not even supposed to think of them like that. Lamar is right down the street. That would be the perfect scenario because it's only a 30-minute drive or so. Well, if you're listening, and I'm going to call the coach back from McNeese. San Jack is the perfect location for McNeese. San Jacinto. You know why? They have a campus, they have dorms, they have a gymnasium, and they don't have any more basketball. They've cut their basketball program out a year ago. You see? So that's perfect for them to be able to come there and get an atmosphere. No kids on the campus. Well, I'm not sure if nobody's on the campus now at San Jack. That's right in Pasadena. So that would be a good idea of that. But speaking of which, and we have more details for tomorrow on you guys. We'll make and on that. Now, what we have is on this weekend. A couple of weeks ago, had a played or introduced a situation with the young lady, and who
Jimmy,
has
can,
us.
can we play it a little bit? Let's play it. It's just a 30-second thing. Can we play it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening. My name is Jeremy, and this is my daughter, Gemma. Today we're here asking and hoping, with high hopes, that you can be of assistance in donating for the benefit and care of Gemma's scoliosis treatment. Last year, Gemma was diagnosed with scoliosis. At the time of her diagnosis,
Jimmy, I'm gonna find the louder one. That's the one he did kind of. Well, young Jimmy, we'll just go and I'll find it. But I'm gonna put the information on the screen for people. He did two of them. One of them was a little soft like that. You couldn't hardly hear him. But
what we'll do is we'll open up the line, and Jeremy Johnson is
her dad,
the father
yeah,
of young, what is it, Gemma?
Yeah, Gemma Johnson. Yes.
And what we'll do is we'll put the phone line, we'll open up the phone line for them to call in. That way it can expedite the convo so we can get all of the factuals right. And if you are listening right now and you have any relations with grassroots basketball, we want you to just open up your hearts and hear what he has to say about this benefit.
Put it on
832.
They just put the message on the Facebook feed. I just pinned it, so it'll be there. But Jeremy, if you could call in, the call-in number is
832-264-1500. 832-264-1500.
You got it set up over there, Jimmy?
Huh?
You got it set up?
Yeah. 832-264-1500, and the number is right on the screen. And we'll get Mr. Johnson to call in, and that way we can conversate with him about the benefit that they're putting. I understand it's not a lot of time. And
shortly after midnight on March 13th.
Require you to top your whole weekend. It's just a thought. And there are some teams out there that just will say, you know what? Yeah. I don't know if we can get all our kids together because some parents might have a week off, but I tell you what we'll do. We'll throw the hat around our program and we'll make a donation to you guys, to the cause. And that may be
Jimmy, give me a second. I just found it. Hold on.
Hello, my name is Gemma, and I just wanted to thank the Chop Shop for allowing me to join their live and for giving me their time to tell them how much this means to me and how much this benefits me about my back and about how many donations and how much the donations mean to me. And thank you for the viewers and members and everybody that's watching this for the donations. I really am grateful for that, and thank you.
Wow. Come on, Jim. Yeah, so Jeremy, do us a favor, call in. Jimmy, 832-264-1500. It's just, I mean, Jimmy, it's unbelievable. And I thought I had downloaded what you had sent me, but I didn't. The flyer, but I'll have the flyer up. I'll put it on our social media. But yeah, like Jimmy said, it's not that much time left. But just hey, just come out there and support him. Okay, that's the phone. Right on time.
And now, of course, we have with us right now, the phone lines open up, and we have Jeremy Johnson on the Chop Shop. What's going on, Jeremy?
What's up, brother Ed? How y'all doing?
All right.
Oh, we're pretty good, pretty good.
I hope you talk hold up, I hope you talk louder than you do on that video, but keep going.
I'm a people person, but I got a big audience right now. I might be a little bad, but
no,
I'm here.
All right, and tell us what's going on this weekend, and tell us a little bit about Gemma.
All right, yeah, what we have going on this weekend, first of all, big shout out and big praise to my man Harry Black, man, over the upside. Just met Harry not too long ago, man, but guys, genuine as they come, man, stand-up guy, I told him what I had going on as far as my family matter with my daughter and her illness, when it was supposed to be the treatment for scoliosis. And he took it by the horns, man, and ran with it. I mean, there was no second thought about it. I told him what was going on. Started AUT. We patronized him with business, for practice purposes, but I don't think that had anything to do with it at all. But I told him what was going on, and he ran with it, man. He allowed me to have his gym for this weekend and host an event, full benefit for her care, for her scoliosis treatment. And like I said, that's what I'm here for. I'm hoping those around the city can partake. I know I'm fighting a battle with the Kingwood Classic this weekend. Those who are available, all age groups are open for both boys and girls. We want to have this be a possible 2-day event or even 1 day. I want everybody to come out on top on this. Like I'm a lover of basketball, and although I think everyone here in the city, a lot of us are lovers of basketball as well too. So bring your child out and your organization out, and let's have a good showing. Have some fun this weekend if possible. And also while serving a good cause and provide care for my daughter so we can get on the court and she can play pain-free, man. She's a warrior. She's a true warrior. I commend my daughter being only 12 years old and having dealt with it for unknowingly, actually. Probably since she was 6 years old, but just last year we actually found out what she was going through, and she pushed through, man. I mean, all the time, grimacing and all, but whatever she set out to do when she's out there on the court, be a game or practice, skills work, she always pushed through and finished strong, man. I love that little girl to death.
Wow.
They never backwards for.
Wow, Jeremy, so she's still playing.
Oh, yeah, man, she's still playing.
Wow.
She still plays. Still works, she still plays. I mean, like, it bothers her. I mean, I see her grimacing a lot of times out there, but, I mean, like, she pushes through it. Actually, the doctors, they suggested, or actually said it actually benefits her with her playing. They said it some kind of helps the cause as opposed to, being immobile and not doing anything. They said that was actually probably wanted to be worse with her, but they actually said that her being active actually benefits her. So I say she understands that. She's already an active child anyway. She loves being active. And, she's a multifaceted athlete, track and everything, volleyball, but, this is her calling. She loves basketball, and they suggested that she remains active because it's beneficial for her to remain active.
Oh, that's good. Good.
And so the Get Back Aligned showcase, that's this weekend. How can they get in touch with you if somebody have a team that's interested, and let them know what age teams that you're seeking?
Okay. You hear my line, man. My line, I say, for those who maybe seen I post the flyers everywhere, exposure all over Facebook, but for those who don't have, who haven't seen it, I say, hear my line, man. I'm open, 713-320-4740. That's my direct line. So, if I'm not able to answer, I'll give you a call back. Say, you do have a job, so you call me, I'm not answering more times than not. I'm at work or tennis and gym, because she's high maintenance, man. She's high maintenance.
Hey.
I can hit my line, man, and we can go from there. And I'm looking for, I would say, 10 boys up as well as girls. So we do have a few teams right now. So right now, I think we have high school boys team, 2 girls 12U teams, and I also have interest from a 13U boys team, 14U boys team. So I think they're kind of playing the field and seeing if we can fill out the field a little bit more before they come along and join the party. But to say everyone, I'm saying those are age groups that I'm particularly, not saying particular, but those age groups that have reached out to me. But I'm open for all. Like that, I'm not turning anybody away. Like I said, it's a benefit for a good cause. So if you're able, come out. Like I said, even if it's not both days, actually Harry allowed me to have the gym for both Saturday and Sunday. But if Saturday's only option, that's fine and dandy. But so let's just get some ball and have a good Labor Day weekend. Enjoy this Labor Day weekend together, man. By enjoying some ball, like I said, support the cause to get my baby out there pain-free.
Wow.
Man, and you guys make sure, of course, that's this weekend. That's this weekend.
Jimmy.
Move fast.
Jimmy, we got Kim Jackson said, Jeremy, could I just post that same GoFundMe link on the page, or it's a new one? Is it the same one?
Yes, sir. It's same link. If you had it before, it's the same link. The link hasn't changed.
Okay.
Yeah, I shared it a few months ago. It's still the same link.
Okay, because Kim Jackson just asked me, and I'm about to post it on the YouTube feed as well. And Jeremy, if you can, post it on the YouTube feed too, if you can. Okay.
Yeah, sure thing. I can. No, not a problem. I'll do that. Jim Jackson, that's a good guy, man. He's done business with my sister and my brother-in-law before. They have their own restaurant out in Stafford.
Okay.
Probably catered for him. Micho's done.
You talking about Kim Jackson?
Yeah, Jim Jackson.
No,
former Dallas.
No, I ain't talking about no. I'm talking about Kim Jackson. She on the Facebook feed. I mean, on the YouTube feed.
I'm sorry, I misheard.
Not Jim Jackson. Not Jim Jackson. That's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, man. We definitely appreciate it, man. And Mr. Johnson and guess what? The info is right there on your screen, guys.
Yeah.
And if you know a team, guess what? It doesn't have to be the real team.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
One of the high school boys that I have on the roster already is already registered. Meadow Ben Hoopers, I think he called his name. He said it was just his son and a few of his friends, that want to play together. And he wants to, help the cause out. So yeah, it's not even an actual official AAU team, one of the high school boys team that's already committed to it. So yeah, like I said, you don't have to be an official team. If you have, some child within that age range, put them together, man, and bring them out. Like I said, it's a holiday weekend as well too. So hey, let's have some fun with while serving a good cause, man. So yeah, you don't have to actually be an official AAU team to take in. As long as you meet the age group requirements to play in that particular division, come out.
I like that, man. That's a good deal. Thanks a bunch, man. Appreciate you calling in and sharing that with us. And that is because this weekend, you guys get out, contact. The info is right at the bottom of that flyer. 713-320-4740. That's 713-320-4740. Y'all that number today. Thanks a bunch. And that, of course, is Jeremy Johnson, man. He's the father of Gemma. And cute as a button right there.
I can't wait to see her play.
I mean, guess what? You would, if somebody, they say there's an old saying, a closed mouth
never
can't get fed.
That's right.
So he's asking.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And so when somebody asking, it's not like he's just sitting back there waiting and saying, he was giving an opportunity for some young kids to come out and play a game of basketball, which most of them love. Meanwhile, then get it, that way they can support, because guess what, Gim? That's what she plays, basketball. So it ain't like he's saying that y'all just give me some money to help me raise and pay for this surgery for my daughter. Right. He's trying to get it out the mud. So let's get it. Let's roll up the sleeves, guys, and see what we come up with on this project. I understand there's not much time.
Jimmy, everybody just come up with something. If enough of us just come up with something, it'll make it'll be big. Just everybody just do something. Just whatever you can do. Just everybody do something. How about that? Yeah, but I love it. Thank you, Jeremy. Yeah. Thank you, Gemma. I can't wait to meet her, Jimmy. I can't wait. The spirit is so, oh my God. And I can't imagine, Jimmy, you going through, because I saw what was happening with her spine, Jimmy, and she could have a Jimmy. See, they people want them to have an operation, but they want to do it the natural way, because she don't want the scars all over this girl's body. That leaves a horrible scar and a horrible scar on her mind. So that's why, and Jeremy, and Jimmy, and you were out, Jimmy. You remember you were out. You was doing some event. Your event, and I had to talk about it myself. But what we're gonna do, we're just gonna make it a conscious effort until this young lady get all of this treatment. Let's just make a conscious effort to help her. Okay. All right. So what else you got, Jimmy?
Well, yeah, and of course. And so now what we got is yesterday we had a great conversation with Jay Lucas, and the former Bel Air High School star who went on to Florida, then graduated from University of Texas before becoming a coach, and been on the staff for about 7 to 8 years, and he accepted an assistant position at the University of Kentucky. Well, this morning, the news broke that University of Texas is announcing budget cuts and layoffs across the campus. And amongst those budget cuts, I will share with you how it will affect the coaches. Well, starting on yesterday through August the 31st of next year, 26 coaches and administrators will take a temporary salary reduction, which will be based on a marginal rate approach, right? And that's the coaches. How it's affected. Because there's some staff and other positions, they're going to lay off 35, at least 35 staffers will be laid off, and they will be, well, not laid off, they will be vacated and permanently eliminate their positions. So remind you,
Is it Texas?
this is at least 5. University of Texas.
With the puff fund?
Yeah, the puff fund must not be puffing right now. This is University, and from October the 16th through August the 31st, 273 staff members will be paid a reduced salary, and 11 will be furloughed. This is Universal. Looks like Jay Lucas got out of there just in time.
Right, I already knew it. He probably knew it.
Insider trading, huh?
Yeah.
Some insider
It was great. But Jimmy, so you telling me the permanent, notice what I said, permanent university fund.
That's PUF, Puff Fund.
Puff Fund,
yeah.
Has been dissipated? Or
no, it ain't been dissipated. It ain't say they have no mention of the Puff Fund in the press release from the University of Texas.
They wanted to get rid of them folks, man. Dude, think about this, y'all. In 1896, the Texas Constitution set aside land in West Texas to support the University of Texas and Texas A&M systems of higher education. Today, that land encompasses 2.1 million acres. Is leased to oil and gas companies whose wells generate revenue that flows into the Puff Fund. Land also is leased for grazing, wind farm, and other generating avenues. And we got the layoff. Jimmy, somebody's siphoning from the Puff Fund. That's all I'm saying. The Puff Fund has been siphoning. Good God Almighty. Jimmy, I told y'all laughing at me. I said Stanford University, who got a $28 billion endowment. And they disbanded 11 sports on their campus. What you about to say?
And I wanted to clarify something.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, clarify.
I think a while ago I know I mentioned the basketball. I mean the coaches. I didn't say what sport. I mentioned coaches. But I mentioned some staffers across the campus. No. Those 35 positions that's going to be vacated and eliminated, those are all within the athletic department. Only. This is only talking about the athletic department. So I want to clarify.
Not the school.
Not the school, the athletic department.
That makes sense. Okay.
So
I got
that's still a lot.
No.
200. I said again.
The reason I said that, because the Puff Fund, from what I just read, it deals with the higher education part. It ain't said nothing about athletics. It said the University of Texas and Texas A&M systems of higher education. It didn't say athletics in this Puff Fund document. So, I mean, I'm glad you said that, Jimmy, because I was about to say, whoa, Nelly, somebody been
Yeah,
stealing
man.
that puff.
I mean, so people, it's September the 2nd, right? And that means the layoffs have already started to trickle and be handed down.
Wow.
273 staff members will be paid a reduced salary,
Okay.
and 11 more will be furloughed.
That's just the athletic department.
That's just in the athletic department.
I'm good with that.
Wow.
Okay, I'm good with that.
And University of Texas, think about it. This is September, right? The 3rd. I mean, the 2nd, right? 10 days from now, UT is going to open their football season at home in Austin against UTEP. They kicking off the football in 10 days.
That's right.
And speaking of football kickoff, who else is kicking off? U of H will open their season on the 19th of the month on the road at Memphis. And A&M will play on the 26th.
U of H going to play who?
At Memphis.
Keep going.
In football. And speaking of, and of course, A&M will play on the 26th. That's when they start. Texas A&M, the 26th of September, they will host Vanderbilt in College Station. And October the 3rd is when Alabama comes to town. October the 3rd, first Saturday in October is expect them to come to town. Speaking of U of H, Hatter, you know, one of the area's top 2 sport stars has committed to University of Houston.
Okay.
And this young man is the quarterback named Maddox Kopp.
Oh, okay.
And he committed yesterday afternoon, to University of Houston. He's one of a quartet of brothers who all got Division I athletic scholarships to play. The other 3, I think 2 is playing football and 2 playing basketball in college Division I. By the time it's over, that's a hell of a run for parents to have 4 sons and all 4 go to college for absolutely free.
Jimmy, I saw something interesting yesterday, and I just don't want to get far away from this. You know, I know it's a sports show, but I saw where Old Navy, I don't know if you saw that, Old Navy, you know, the store, is to pay their store employees to work in the polls in November. In other words, Jimmy, I've never heard of a corporation doing this. If their employees go off, they try. It's a shortage in poll workers. So if everybody talking about what they want to do, there's a shortage in poll workers. So they said with election day on the horizon, many companies are giving their employees the day off to vote. But Old Navy is taking a different approach to get employees involved in the democratic process. The retailer announced on Tuesday that it will pay store employees for 8 hours who serve as poll workers for the 2020 election. The company said employees will also be eligible for compensation from their local jurisdiction. So I think, and they have over 50,000 employees across the country. And I think I've never heard of a company doing that before. And shout out to Old Navy. We always, when people do bad, we always talk about them. But a shout out to Old Navy. And I saw some yesterday, Twitter. People on Twitter, Jimmy, are so cruel. I know. I mean, we got people getting burner accounts, you know.
Really? What happened?
Oh, you know what happened last week. But let me but this is not a burner account. We'll talk about it. Just give me 1 second. Marcus Jordan, Michael Jordan's son, Let me just show y'all people so out of touch. He tweeted, man, my internet is trash. Okay? Do you know what somebody tweeted him back and said? Man, bro, your dad is Michael Jordan. What the hell that's got to do with internet? Your internet trash that day. I'm just showing you the insensitivity of some people. We got people I saw the other day, and I don't know who it is, and I hope it's a person that watches this show. I saw something this weekend. I mean, somebody text me and you, they text us, and we got people behind a fake account talking about negative about people, people that's in our circle and the people that helps it help this community. And my thing would be, come on, man. You took out the time. And we'll talk about it. You took out the time. You know, I ain't did it in a long time, Jimmy. You took out the time to go and get an account, get an email, get an account. Don't put your face on it and call it some ass scouts, bad ass scouts, terrible scouts, some scouts. I got to look at me and go get to talking about people in our basketball community. And if you out there, man, come on, man. Think about what you did. Then you lacked. Jimmy, this shit takes time. Excuse my language. This stuff takes time. Then you set out the time and lack 62 people as of that day I saw it. So you took out the time to go through and lack people. I mean, you're following people, following people. You took 66 squads. So you thought about this, but you never thought about putting your name on it and want to talk about the people in our community that's helping these kids. And they ain't perfect. No. Jimmy, me, anybody, we're not perfect. And guess what? Your ass ain't perfect either. But I think it's very disrespectful to get your coward behind and hide behind and then this what pissed me off, because I wasn't going to say nothing at first. You look at it took a long. Then you put as your profile player, your person, a guy that I care about. And I know what he's doing to help these kids in his community. And let me tell you, he's not getting paid a damn enough to sit up here and do this for your kids to be ranked. So, man, let's just have a little class about it. Jimmy, you can come in. I just got to get, because it's been on my heart. I let it go. But whoever it is, you're so bitter. If you want those guys' numbers, I'll give you those guys' numbers. ChopShopHCX@gmail.com. I'll get you those guys, and y'all talk this thing out. Going and defaming people's name and calling them out their names. Hey, man, it's too much stuff going on out here, man. We got an election to win. We got people out here just lying on us. I just saw, and I wish I could have taped it, a woman talking about, this black African-American girl, she's threatening my way of life. I need the police, I need the paramedics. I don't know. It ain't nothing happened to her. It's people around us saying, girl, what the hell you doing? Just police sitting 911, sitting the paramedics. Homeboy, whoever that is, man, you out of pocket, man. And I hope you watch this show. And I hope you take that thing and take it down. And I noticed one thing about it. You got a little bit of a conscience because you deleted some of the tweets. Oh, I went and watched. Yes. Because you're talking about people that I care about, man. And I'm just not, I know. Y'all already know how I am about social media. Get your grown butt, a young butt, whoever you were. Don't do that no more. Jimmy, if you can come in if you want to, it just got to me, man. Got to me.
Yeah, that's trolling at its finest.
Jimmy, that's not trolling, Jimmy. He defaming this man. Trolling means you're messing with me. You're trying to stop me from doing something. You just want to interrupt the show. People might want to, that's trolling. This man came on, man or woman, whoever, it could be a woman. Come up here defaming this man's character. A man who drives all the way from a whole nother city to come here and watch your kids. The hell out of here with that, man. Now, Jimmy, you call it trolling. Jimmy, they went past trolling. When you put somebody's face on that person's face on your freaking profile pic. That's wrong, man. I've never, if that's trolling on steroids. So I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Y'all called me wrong.
I mean, in the amateur basketball sector, there's a few years ago there used to be somebody put together a social media account that was, one of them was called the Ghost of Dave Teller, and that person went out and gave, targeted different people and gave, I call it, the variation of trolling, variation of it, and did things. Then you had another one that's called like coaching changes or something, and they curse and use profanity and talk about coaches and whatnot. But then, and they're still, that one is still exists. It still operates on a daily or weekly basis. But after a period of time, you don't pay it no attention. Then those people normally go away because they come for a quick laugh. They get some people. They're speaking for a group of a conversation that's probably been had before, and now they want to just throw out there and think that the masses may run with parallel thoughts, and they'll realize after soon they won't. And that's kind of like how that goes. Like, you think everybody's gonna laugh at your joke, and they not. And then they'll go do something else. No. And that's the thing. And speaking of,
not me.
Speaking of Doug Jones is the guy had made a comment about Doug and his fitness.
Yeah, I
and
like that.
Doug has lost over 70 pounds, and he's a work in progress.
Yes.
To get, because of health reasons and trying to get, so yeah. For that part, I don't, then, maybe if Doug, maybe he'd have caught that, made that account maybe a year and a half or 2 years ago, he might have could have did some penetrated through Doug's heart or something and made him feel down. But Doug know he's on the uptick, and that stuff can't, that weapon is, shall not prosper, which no matter how you form it against him in that sense, in that nature. So shout out to Doug on that. And speaking of stuff, mailbags, now it's time. We hadn't been all week going in the mailbag, and got a couple of emails that people sent me with questions, right? Here's one, and I'll need you guys to, when you're in the Boom Boom Room, to give me your thoughts on this, because he's talking towards sneaker teams versus non-sneaker teams. And remember, a lot of these people are sending questions really to get understanding, and some may not. You don't know because you don't know the context of which the words are typed on the paper. So here we go. Saying, I've seen so many non-sneaker teams complain about wanting to play games against sneaker teams to prove how good their program is. And sneaker teams want to prove they are the best too. So how can they prove that while playing non-sneaker teams? It is weird to me that non-sneaker teams don't want their good players to leave their programs to go play for sneaker teams, but cry when they don't get to play a sneaker team leveled schedule. If you want that for your kids, then why not just let them play on a sneaker team? Or how about running your own tournament and invite only sneaker teams and then see who comes? So what I understand what they're probably asking, and they're probably asking that so many people, if you if your team is coming up through grassroots, chances are there's going to always be a player that's going to be very good that's playing on a team that's not sneaker sponsored. Well, now we're talking primarily about the high schools now. We're not talking about the 8th grade and the June bugs. Well, it's always going to be more, especially in a state like Texas. Those sneaker teams, if you ever watched them, they only play about 8 guys regularly, 9 tops. Very rarely do you see a 5 in, 5 out where they playing dual minutes on a sneaker circuit. That ain't happening. So if you think about the numbers, 8 to 9 will play. I'm talking about 17U now. In a city like Houston right now, there's only 2 17U sneaker sponsored teams this summer. Houston Hoops, Houston Defenders. Houston Defenders, this past weekend, when we didn't tell you how, when Tim came on and for the last 2 days and recapped the ASAC Classic, the Houston Defenders had pretty much combined their 16s with the 17s to give reinforcement, in hopes of maybe you having a deep bench and, and giving the kids one last field trip down the street. Austin is a quick trip, Well, guess what? They lost all 3 games. And while we were sitting there with Alan, I was sitting there with Alan Branch and Ani, and we were sitting there at one point, we were sitting there and calculating, projecting how many players we excluded the underclassmen. How many of the rising seniors, the 12th graders that was with the Houston Defenders would sign Division I letters of intent? And I think we came up with about 5 that we say it was like 4 in the possible. That's it. So we say round it off to 5. You spade and bid whiz players, you got a queen in your hand and an ace, you're going to let the queen skate. You're going to count that queen as a book. So we'll count it as 5. 5. Sneaker teams aren't designed, they aren't funded to have only 5, to find 5
good number,
Division I players.
Give me a good number. Give me a good number.
The funding is to help them cultivate the next, if it's Under Armour, the next Steph Curry.
No, give me a good number of the number of players it should be on a sneaker team.
Division I, you mean?
Division I's on a sneaker team. What's the number? Since 5 is not enough, what's the number?
Everybody except 1. You give 1 as a room of error because they know it's gonna be that one kid sometime and it's gonna be a favor, and they know that. But it should be every kid on that team except 1 on the 17s should be a Division I prospect.
It makes sense.
A legitimate Division I prospect.
It makes sense. Jimmy, it makes sense. And like I said, Jimmy, and some people might not know, and if they watch the Chop Shop, they'll know. But Jimmy, I'm gonna tell you the truth. It was a time that I didn't realize that is what these teams were built for. You remember I told you my son just wanted to play because he wanted the tennis shoes that's on the circuit. So I said, okay, well, I get you a tryout. You follow me? But, Jimmy, you're right. Every last one of those guys got a Division I champ. Every last one of them. I did not think about that. Every last, even the franchise all-stars, Jimmy, every last one of those guys got Division I scholarship. I can't tell you one that didn't. So, is this why we don't have but 2 sneaker teams in Houston? Is it not enough Division I players, or not enough people attracted to that program? Not enough people wanted to play on that program. Because guess what? We got one kid, one of our best kids, went to play on that same shoe circuit, San Antonio. Let me repeat that. One of our best players played on that same snake with hard work, Ramon Walker. He went up there to play. So,
you mean the city of Houston?
City of Houston, yeah. I'm sorry. City of Houston. And so, I mean, see, it's the first time.
Inject this in there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Our number 1 ranked 2021. I'm sorry, number 1 ranked 2021 went to play with the team from Dallas to start this. How I'm talking about initially before the pandemic.
Okay.
He was earmarked for a team, and that's JVR Francis.
Okay.
Ramon Walker was ranked number 2. Mm-hmm. He go to play with the San Antonio Hard Work.
I'm watching.
That's a 2022.
Mm-hmm.
I know we had a couple of those that went played. I'm kind of pull them up. You guys can help me on the feed. Mm-hmm. But in 2023, mm-hmm. our top
player,
our most recruitable prospect,
went to,
as it stands right now, went to play in Oklahoma.
Yes.
Team.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So look at the connection, and I mean, I'm a bookmark right there. I just want to inject that. Okay. You can finish. I'm gonna bring it back, and I got a point. I'm gonna show to you people, and regarding we have a good convo on this stuff.
What you gonna bookmark? What you about to do?
Well, here's what I want to bookmark.
I ain't got nothing to say.
Bookmark is this. This we got to think about.
Mm-hmm.
If all of those people that left aren't influenced by the same person, they all didn't play with the same sneaker program before they left Houston. But every other place you turn, you hear people that's involved in the grassroots community or have some degree of influence complaining about how messed up it is.
How messed up is what? How messed up?
How messed up it is in Houston and with the whole landscape.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But then if it's messed up and everybody, this guy is taking influence and taking this kid, he's going this way. This other kid going this way. This other kid going that way. Everybody's leaving, going to play on different sneaker teams out of town. So what that means is that various sneaker programs are not only across Texas, but nationwide have infiltrated Houston. And you guys, you must don't know it. They've infiltrated the city. You can't infiltrate meaning there are people flying in town, having meetings and going to get papados and meeting with parents, eating and stuff on a regular. Getting back up out of here, you don't even know they're here. Snuck down with a sneaker rep that's flying in. You don't even know they're here. People that got sneaker sponsorships, their bosses flying in. They ain't telling them that they flying in. Getting in, get a shrimp dinner, a shrimp basket for the mama and the kid. Rub them on the head, give them a couple of boxes of shoes. They're gonna come in the mail the next couple of days. They're gone trying to seal the deals. Understand? Somebody on every other corner is helping to facilitate those moves
to get these kids out of here.
to get them out of here. And then you hide your hands behind your back and act like, well, I ain't done nothing, man. That's wrong. One thing about it, in amateur basketball, it ain't many secrets that's going to bury themselves. The secrets will surface because you know why? So many people like to big willie themselves and let other people know, not necessarily back in Houston, where they from, how I got it done. And then when people let other person know how I go, that's my guy. That's my dude. It's my guy. So now it comes back and you just pay attention, you can see the walls close in. And then the thing is, everybody, I think there was a, see, the blame goes, like Gary Cohn said, we all complicit. Yeah. The blame goes all around the room.
Why?
And
why, Jimmy?
And well, because you got to be able to accept responsibility, and even myself accept responsibility. I'm not a culprit for. I've never connected any player to leave and go out of town. I've connected players to come in town to play for the teams. See how the difference is? Once again, when Jerome Tang's at the Heritage Christian, I'm helping Von Wafer get here. Helping Elijah Miller get here from Lake Charles, Louisiana. You see the difference? Help. Home. You know, went over there and helped, you know, help give the, like, did whatever I could as far as, you know, I didn't help. I wasn't a headhunter helping Gulf Shores, but I helped Juice out. He knows it. Once I find out that Javon Wink Adams, his mother, grew up on the north side with me, you know, sometimes you don't know who people's kids are. Like, that's Big Ann's son. Everybody on the north side knew Big Ann. Every city got a Big Ann. You know what I'm saying? One thing about the hood, every city has a Big Ann, but everybody on the north side knew Big Ann. Big Ann was, and she did hair. They knew it from back in the days, you know. But anyway, it's backwards now. People to keep their prongs, you know, realize once you think about what you're doing, we're cultivating an atmosphere where it's okay to go and use your influence to remove the son from the mom and send them across town or across the state or across the country. And for the sake of basketball. I'm not saying it should never be done. No. I'm saying that that it's becoming too regular. It's becoming too regular. People, I think some more of you guys may need to go out of town and just stay there for like more than a weekend.
Oh, and they'll find out.
They will see just how good you got it.
Yeah, they'll find out.
In H-Town. Somehow people making you guys believe they make better mixtapes? What? Somehow they fooling some of you guys. I remember when Tommy Mason Griffin, what happened?
I moved some. Keep talking.
I remember when Tommy Mason Griffin had her back in 2008. He came out in 2009 when he was getting ready to go to Oak Hill. Remember? Mm-hmm. He actually had committed to Oak Hill. Mm-hmm. He was going to Oak Hill. And the community got together. Harm Clark stood up. Vincent Young came back, and got involved. Everybody it came down like they got, because understand, economically, some people, they say, well, hey man, this kid from the streets, he need to, not talking necessarily about Tommy, just about some kids in general. Right. Man, he need to get away. That's how it was with Carlos Hurt.
Yeah.
Some people say, hey man, in the streets, you know, he need to get away. He need to, you know, it don't matter where he's going to need to get away. So, but the streets rallied together and say, we will take care of him. That's what the play was. They talked to Paula, talked to the kid, convinced him to stay, which he stayed at Madison and still got his scholarship to Oklahoma, and whatever he's doing now, you know, he quit playing basketball. for the most part. My thing is, guys, they will come to Houston. Do you not understand? Put it like this. Sure, our Houston defenders went down to Austin and got the heads beat in this past weekend. But I tell you one thing. You come in the city of Houston, if you was to rank the teams, our number 5 team in Houston or our number 8 team in Houston will whoop the ass of pretty much every other city's number 8 team. That's what you see what I'm saying, how deep it is. That's when it started getting deep. The middle, our kids, so that means our number 45 or number 50 could very well be number 20 in a ranking. The college coaches know that. They know that. You can't trick them. Now, there are some people, they have one little kid that's left. He's gone to 7-footer last week, gone to Utah. Well, you connect the dots. He's a Mormon. So he's going to Utah to go to a prep school that can get him acclimated because he's going to serve a mission. So you get him around, and so everybody has reasons that they go. Some people like JVR Francis, we remember him, he left, and why would he leave? Understand. Westbury Christian put out a memo, a directive to their athletic programs that says you can't play in any event where you have to spend the night. So what was they going to do as far as being exposure for this kid? You got a situation where Bryce Griggs leaves and has a chance to go. Different people have different things. He has a chance to go and play whether you like it or not. You're going to watch the young fella Mikey Williams play. So if you did not like it or not, you have to watch him play. So people say, well, ask me what happened. Well, guess what? It's all about the spin, the narrative. Guess what? Bryce Griggs right now can go and tell y'all could kiss my ass. I tricked the system. He said it right there, and nothing nobody could do. If he was to say that, which that ain't how he would. No, now he got some fellas might feel that way and say y'all kiss my ass. But in regard to the whole scope of things, but I'm gonna tell you, it served a purpose. He never went a day of school in California, and let me show you how this stuff worked. And California made themselves go see him. They made themselves fall in love with them and start to claim them as their own. Follow me. His rankings went up the damn charts because now you got electoral vote.
Hold up, Jimmy, without playing a game. But keep going. Without playing a game, your rankings went up the chart, and that was the primary reason that it left. One of the USA Basketball, I brought him on the Chop Shop to give him a chance, and he told most of the truth that I know of. I can say that about him. Most of the truth he said as far as the Showalter who directs the USA Basketball, the youth part. But back to this Bryce thing. Bryce wins because now he's a consensus top 20 player in the country. Before he was not. Okay, he was only ranked by one over past 30. Now he's in everybody's top 20. Remember you talking about Wall Street, buy the rumor, sell the fact? They bought the rumor. And now he's packed up and come home. So what happens now? He doesn't, and I touched on this Monday in the VIP news on rcsports.com. You guys go check out the VIP news. I touched on it. He don't, now, anybody that want to play him now, how he had to go run to play Keontae George? Keontae George had to bring his ass to Houston. You see how the game go now. You're in total control. You want to play me? Come on down here to my park. Back when we played in the days, we used to play neighborhood versus neighborhood. And then sometimes we figure, you're going to play at your park, our park. And then sometimes we say, well, we're going to flip a quarter. Or then sometimes the winner, whoever won though,
No, you got to come to our park. You want to play us? If another park neighborhood want to play, they think they good enough. No, you got to come over here. You come over here, beat us, then we come to your park. And that's what's going on now. The system, that's one of the reasons why, understand, he did not have to play. He never played one sneaker 17U game this summer before this.
Yeah.
Before the,
pandemic, right.
The rankings jolted up. Understand, that now what it does is lets a lot of people understand everybody they made that egg hatch for them. Before they was controlling the egg and saying, well, we'll see him at Pangos. Here come the Pangos. We'll see him. We'll see how well, hell, Pangos is going to be in May, at the end of May. What about we'll see him on the 17Us. Well, see, look at what happens now. You don't have to play 17U, and you still can get that accolade, that validation. You don't have to until it's time. Now he got one summer left. He can do that summer however he wishes now. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, he's went and he's been performing. Yeah. He's been excelling and been doing. So that's his how. So what happens is he come back, which from what I understand, all signs, I wrote on the VIP news, all signs point towards it was down to 1 or 2 schools, and I broke it down and Gabe touched it on there. But I think Bryce has pretty much made a decision. I have intel that, that some of the young players at his old high school said they got text messages from Bryce to inform them that he's coming back to the family. So that means, with that being said, on the Chop Shop, you got the breaking news that it's all signs we'll be expecting for Bryce Griggs on Tuesday when they go to school to be rolling up to Hightower High School. And that's a great thing because the head coach, Stephen Woods, of course, he fought the good fight and tried to keep him here. But then when the kid left, Stephen Woods never said anything bad. Oh, yeah. Now, when people leave and you gone, you know how it is. We all had exes. Think about it. All the while you there, when you gone, the ex gonna tell everybody how your feet stink, your breath stink. You don't flush the toilet, you pee on the stool. They gonna tell everything when you gone. They ain't tell you nothing when you was there. Everything was fine when you were there, when you paying all the bills. When you gone, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's Stephen Woods kept it professional. And that's what happens when you in the conversations was beyond, are you coming back? It's a beyond, okay, how y'all make sure y'all all right? That's what happens. So now for everybody who laughed at Stephen Woods.
People laughed at Stephen Woods?
Well, a lot of people like that. See what you get. Remember now, Stephen Woods, remember the Hightower went through some turbulence with Shadow Creek with different kids swapping school. So different kids left and went to other private schools. So people that laughed or snickered, right? One thing about it, if people that got the good, if you got the people, those who have a good heart, it's only so much. It's like an old car. You can throw all the dirt you want to do on it. Guess what? They got a built-in rinse, gonna wash that clean out. And that's what happens when a guy like Stephen Woods, and it works, it looked like everything works out, is going to work out in his favor. And for everybody who dropped Hightower off their schedule, you can tell them to kiss their ass. See, think about stuff. Everybody who dropped Hightower off their schedule, you see? Yeah. And there's some people that dropped them off their schedule. Yeah. I mean, they might not even be able to travel to those tournaments anyway, based on district restrictions. But there are people, and I tell Stephen Woods, you need to pay attention. How some people only want you, and understand, and that's business.
But Jimmy, you said that. I remember you told Justin Winslow, coach, that at St. Thomas. Said, man, you better enjoy all this attention you're getting right now. I know you're Big Willie and talking shit. He said, cause soon as Justice go, Them coaches ain't gonna call you no more. And I promise I seen the coach again. Coach say, hey, they ain't call me no more. So it's unique, man. I mean, and some people ask why I'm quiet. Jimmy is so eloquently talking about it. I'm just sitting back. I really don't have too much to say. I didn't have too much to say. If y'all noticed, I didn't have too much to say when they said he was leaving. I just left it alone. Even me and Jimmy ain't never talked about it. I didn't. So I don't have too much to say now. I'm just glad to have him back around. But and it's a great thing. But guess what, y'all? I'm gonna let y'all know. I already had my Airbnb already hooked up in San Diego. I got to let you know that. I was planning on being out there. Yes, but hey, things change.
So,
yeah.
I mean, and so now we can learn from that to embrace that and moving forward with the next kid. If you so many. And that's going to happen. So many getting caught up. It's whether if you're good or if you're not good. You know who's great out there. You know the kids that got the potential to be great.
Right.
And the thing is,
right.
On the national scope of things, it's really difficult to push 7 or 8 kids and thrust them in from one city and thrust them all into the top 50 unless they all have a legitimate size advantage over their peers, or have already just went out there in different platforms or together and just dominated. It's hard. So what happens is everybody go and say, well, man, he got it. My kid just as good as him. And why is he getting, and then so here it comes. Push one through. You guys ever been to a show and you had to, or a ball game, and you called somebody had the plug to come open the back gate and let you in?
Yeah, you always.
10 of y'all ain't rolling up to the back gate. You got to come get your ass in the gate first. Then you going to call your partner. Hey, come on, I got the plug. Come on. I'm going to leave a brick or leave the gate open for you. You come let him in. Then it might be 2 more he going to let in. That's the best play, as opposed to trying to thrust a whole crop of teams. Even I know Clyde Jackson is watching right now. And I told Clyde, as good as that Houston, that DOYA team was, the Houston Hoops / DOYA, I explained to him, Clyde, anoint your top 2. Let's thrust them out first. Trust me, they're young. They're 2024s. Thrust the young ones out first, or the 2023s. Then after about 3 months, each quarter, you take 2 more. Thrust those out. Then you take 2 more. Now those other 2, that means 4, they done got through the gate, and they've anointed. They're anointed. Then you can throw 2 more or 1 more behind that. That's how everybody. This thing about it, there's no blueprint and there's no script in this stuff. So a lot of people want to do it on their own, which that's perfectly fine. But at the same time, if you galvanize and pretty much the guys that are mouthpieces and have influence, if it was known and this city could be so much greater if there wasn't so many people trying to get in other people's way.
What you mean by that, Jimmy? What you mean by that? Getting other people's way.
Well, if you see a guy and one guy may be doing one thing, and another guy, next thing you know, he's going to do something similar, and he's doing that. So that means you got 2 guys doing the same, which is no problem. But then if everybody's doing the same thing, that could be so many different ways of innovating for people to do in the area and still have the mouthpieces. Like I remember last week, we had little Courtney Brooks on the feed and saying that he insinuated that he was going to have a JUCO event. And then Jeffrey Day said he was going to have a JUCO event, which is perfectly fine. As long as the JUCO events, you just got to please. If you guys go through with it, just please don't do it on the same damn weekend.
Or, Jimmy, Combine your resources together. I'll never forget. I'm listening to Roland Martin one day, Jimmy, and he was talking about all of these little black media companies, and this. Everybody want to go do this here. Everybody want to go do this. He said, "Man, what's wrong with all of us combining and make it one big conglomerate? Then all of us eat instead of all of us getting crumbs. Then all of us can get we can get a piece." But keep going. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just adding these
and speaking of that, what you just said, galvanize.
Yes.
Basically, in a nutshell.
Yes.
And combine efforts, right? So you remember that, and we bookmarked that, and that conversation will be continued on tomorrow.
Okay.
And that's the thing. And on tomorrow, just bookmark that right there, Hal. We're gonna have a ball on Thursday. Baby Friday gonna be off the chain tomorrow. I mean, it's all, if you're paying attention, guys, that's all. That's the fundamental element.
And Jimmy, guess what I done found out too? And let people help them out a little bit. Everybody ain't gonna be able to work with each other. That's okay. It's okay. Y'all got to realize one of the greatest movements in the world was the civil rights movement. Martin Luther King had his opinion. Malcolm X had his, and everybody else had SNCC had theirs. Stokely Carmichael and them was over here. They had everybody, dude. But if we want to see, notice what I said, Jimmy. I said if you want to make something big and great. Now you can have these little mom and pop ass stores around here all you want. But if you want a national name or you want to make an impact, you're gonna have to bring some people in. If you want to make a global or a national impact. And Jimmy, I got to end this when talking about this because and people was wondering. I know people was making little cracks on Monday, and I was just trying to correct these people trying to talk about people trying to come back home and all that kind of stuff. No, it's always home. Ain't no place like home. But see, Jimmy, the reason I don't want to comment too much on Bryce, you said one of your favorite sayings is, Hatter, is you talking with your head or your heart? With Bryce Griggs, it's my heart. So let's get that understood. With Bryce Griggs, I don't have to comment on it. I don't have to. That's some people's business. With me, it's not my business. It's my heart. So yes, when people say something about him, it affects me. Yes, if people say so. That situation right now, James Harden ain't my heart. Bryce Griggs is. So I just love when Jimmy, I sit there and watch it because people had speculations and want to do this and wanted to do this. That young kid, I can tell it, Dad promised him that when you become 16 years old, you can choose a school you want to go to. Okay? When you're 16 years old, you can choose your school. Guess what? He befriended this young fat man. For 3 years, they've been friends saying, man, we're going to play together. We're going to play together. How we going to make it? How we going to make it work? Bryce was in a position where he can make it work. And you can't, I mean, it's crazy. He got that kind of cachet that he could go out there and play. And I'm glad you, Jimmy, you so eloquently put it. I mean, we have got to do a better job. Because, Jimmy, even you, and I know you didn't mean it by harm, you mentioned a kid, our top-ranked player, want to play on a summer team, went to play on a summer team in Oklahoma. But we got to start respecting that top player you talk about is Tyler Smith. Let's call his name. I mean, let's call his name. We got to do a better job of embracing the talent that we have in this city, man. And I don't know the answers. The guy right there got the answers. Jimmy, I talk stuff to you. I just tell you when it's come to the NBA and like that, I kind of know what I'm talking about. But I'm smart enough to always yield to you, Doug, Alan Branch. Y'all in the gym watching these kids. What the hell I'm going to come up here and tell you about a kid? For y'all in the gym every day. But it's just, man, we just got to do. John Lucas said it great. Houston, we got to do a better job of taking care of our top talent. Because Jimmy just said, when we get one of them through, then we can come. We got to get one of them through first. You can't hate on, bro. He's better. You know, we got a guy out here just constant. This guy better than Bryce. This guy better. Slow down, player. Slow down. He had his chance and got his ass tore off. So just slow down and allow Bryce and the top players in this region, let them go do what they do. Then that's going to allow other people. Jimmy, what you said? They got to come see. If they come to Houston to see Bryce, they just ain't coming to see one player. You follow me? Jimmy, I'm listening to y'all and I'm learning from y'all and I'm just watching. I'm just trying to get the general public and the people. Jimmy, you said something I didn't get a chance to talk to. I know we behind. You said, and I've been hearing about these secret meetings. People coming into town, meeting with our top players, parents, and influencers. I've been hearing them stories. But, I mean, what my young fella said, we all are complicit. We just got to do a better job. That's all. Jimmy, you can take us to the break, but I want you to comment on that. Take us to the break. What somebody said, who you want somebody to elaborate on what?
No, I was talking with Gary, and Gary said we're fighting a different fight over here. And I asked him to elaborate a little bit. Exactly what he mean by we're fighting a different fight over here. Indeed. And also want to give you mentioned earlier about the possibility of Jeffrey Day and Courtney Brooks with their JUCO projects that they're planning to do. And Jeffrey Day mentioned he's on our YouTube feed, guys, and he says, I would be willing to work with Courtney. I'm willing to work with anyone, always have been. I reached out to college coaches back in January, February, and have the text messages still in my phone about this project. And so he's willing to work. So that means you hear it from one side. That's the thing. And once again, people, that's the start. And the thing is, if so many people wouldn't be talking so sideways behind other people's back, then they wouldn't feel so uneasy when they in public around those same people. And I told you guys before, I'm one of them guys, I kind of know a lot of the sideways that goes on, and I purposely go out of my way to come stand my ass right on the side of you in that gym. That way I want them people that you've been talking that shit to, they can see you standing there, they see how fake your ass is, because you got to stand right here and act like ain't nothing wrong. I do it on purpose because I know a lot of this stuff going on. I just sit there and laugh, and just sit there and laugh. I'm like, I could never be what some of y'all are being right now. I could never be that dude. Never. That's a different degree of fakeness right there with some of the guys that's doing. And the thing is, it don't have to be that way. Even at some point, all it takes is just, you know what, man, salute and keep on rocking. But then nobody, it's just, it don't stop. And I tell people, you can do.
Go, Jim. Gary, I guess he said he got a plan for the whole city and the kids.
And I mean, hey, remember, it takes young energy to go and put it piece together. But at the same time, remember, rest in peace, of course, to John Thompson. And we talked the other day, and I explained to you guys about, I gave you a scenario the other day when we were in a secret meeting.
In the room, yeah.
And John Thompson was in that room. Nolan Richardson was in that room. John Chaney was in that room. And also in that room was George Ravner. He didn't sign the sheet. That was one of the very few times that all four of those guys, they were in a secret meeting with strangers, because those other guys didn't know me. George Ravner had knew me at the time, but not, he knew me, and knew me enough to anoint me, because you couldn't go to that meeting. You had to be anointed, meaning that you had to have a personal invite by one of those four guys. You follow me how the meeting took place now? So either George Ravner invited you, John Thompson invited you, Nolan Richardson, or Coach Chaney invited you. Those, you couldn't go and bring nobody with you. You, not a plus one. And so that meeting was them basically giving their consultants to the next flame toters that they saw that was around the country that was present on that weekend of the Final Four. It wasn't like there was a premeditated.
What city were y'all in?
In Indianapolis.
Okay.
In Indianapolis. And so that was a meeting that was designed for them to be able to help galvanize. And it was a mixture of a lot of the guys in black media, so that way you can understand how we can go and be able to get narratives and collectively push narratives in sync, instead of fighting against each other. I mean, now you're in control of your narratives and try to make some of the college coaches know to go through them as whatnot.
So Jimmy, you had that information. You have that.
Yeah.
Them guys hand that down to you.
Yeah.
And,
well, not just me, but
no. We talking about you. I ain't worried about them. I ain't worried about them folks. I'm talking about you, Houston. You Houston, right? Anybody else in there from Houston?
Yeah. You know what? It was.
Who?
And I was surprised as hell when I saw dude in there. Cause I mean, dude, I swear to you, we met. Remember Max Edison, who passed away last year.
Okay.
Worked with the Forward Times. I mean, the Forward Times for years. Max was in that room.
So guess what?
And I was like, whoa.
I want you to follow me on this one. You got that valuable information from those titans in their industry. Was it hard? When you came back home? Why, even you and Max Edison, I don't know how big of friends y'all were. Why didn't y'all come back with that information and galvanize the guys in your field of influence? He galvanized. Why we didn't come back and make that's a great meeting. All the people who write in this industry, or all the people who talk about sports and doing what you do. Imagine if y'all had everybody doing their own thing, but what if y'all had a unified voice? So that means the outside world, you can't call to Houston and somebody said, Bryce Griggs ain't that good. It's between me and you. But no, don't take him. Don't take him right now. No. We already, if you didn't know he was going to be that good, I'll wait. Because I know how people say guards. But, and that's y'all position that y'all have to take. Y'all have to wait to anoint somebody. Because you said you anointed somebody before their time before. And it kind of got to you. You know, if you stick your hand on that hot stove one time. Yeah. So all I'm saying is, and I know it's the wild, wild west out here, and these guys going, how many media people out here? How many? Because it's just so many.
Now you said media, you mean black media?
Yeah, I'm talking about talk about high school basketball.
Oh, in high school basketball,
around
you
here in this city,
all together. If you lump them all together, you would say about 10 to 12.
Okay, that's 10, 12 guys. I bet you all 12 of y'all ain't never sit down and had a few of them probably, and sit down and had just a talk. Just a talk, informal. Say, hey man, hey, And Jimmy, everybody, I'm just going to tell you, everybody looking to you. And I know you saying, damn, but Robert, I got so much. But I got to let you know they're looking to you. It's a dude told me one time, I said, man, why are you trying to be like this dude? And I'm looking at your website. You got the same thing he got. He said, dude, he got this stuff good. I'm just going to copy and paste it. I like what his ass is doing. Nigga, excuse me. He told me this. So I'm just saying, if we can, if it's hard, if y'all just don't like each other, I'll be the mediator. I just would like for it to be a time. Y'all got to understand, I don't have a son. But I got Bryce to get through this thing. I got Tyler to get through this thing. I got TJ's son to get through these things. And the reason I'm mentioning those guys, because I got personal relationship and know these people and their parents. Everybody, I don't know all the, I'm getting to know. That's why y'all think I be playing. You and Doug, I watch y'all tweets. Every time y'all tweet about a kid, guess what I do? I put it in my notes. You know I'm the note-takingest dude in the world. Yeah, it's almost slipped out. Yeah, Corey, it almost slipped out. I'm sorry. It almost. I'm teaching the old dog new tricks. Corey caught me. Jimmy didn't catch me that time. But Jimmy, I'm just saying, Jimmy, they might look to you. If I know one thing, if you send out an email and say, hey, man, we finna go over here. Just show up. It ain't got to be formal. You ain't got to get up there, hey, this got to be. Just say, man, hey, I'm going to pass down some to y'all that I got in that meeting that everybody in the world wasn't privy to. Jimmy, that's what I do with these young guys that call me talking about being a sports agent. I sit down for hours and talk to some of these guys all over the country because I've been in the room 18 times in the green room. Everybody can't say that. I've been in the room. I've been to places that, Jimmy, you've been that we can't. So it's our time to give it back, man. It's our time to give it back. So guess what? You got 12 guys in this city that's in your sphere of influence. And all of them copying off you. They can get mad at me. All of them look to you. They might not say it. Forget Jim. I ain't about. Come on, man. I'm telling you. I know what you're doing. But it's okay. Jimmy, I gave you a great wisdom. All wisdom is pleasurism. Only stupidity is original. So y'all get that one when you go home. So it's all right. When that dude was copying off your stuff, Jimmy, I was saying, man, you're copying off. But he said, hold on, Rob, this dude, this good. I'm going to copy and paste. Hold up. His pay structure, he charged the coaches, what he charged this. I checked him on it. He didn't just come and volunteer. I said, dude, what's up with this? He said, man, I'm copying off that dude. That dude got this stuff right. So it's crazy, man. I mean, and I know it sounds funny to people, but this is how I feel about our community, man. I feel a certain way about I want us to be great. I want us to be great. So that's all, Jimmy. I mean, I didn't mean the two. We didn't win overtime, but we're gonna talk about galvanizing tomorrow. But you can yabba do it. I don't even want to talk no more. I'm done.
And on tomorrow, guys, it's that time, and make sure you cue your alarm clocks up to join us, to rejoin us on tomorrow. And we will, one of the topics, of course, there will be note on the back nine. We started at about probably about a quarter past the hour. We'll start maybe half past the hour because there's only going to be two things to talk about tomorrow, and that is this Houston Rockets and OKC Game 7, and of course the Game 1 matchup between versus the winner will play the Lakers in a couple of days. So that will be a topic of conversation, and of course we'll get right into it. And we got a couple of guests that's going to join us tomorrow. That's in the grassroots sector. You know, we do a lot of grassroots convos on Thursday, and I see that Stacey. I'm glad that I saw the comment. I'm glad that somebody from Dallas.
I didn't hear it, Jimmy.
To Coach Kenneth Gamble. He's and that's exactly what I said. I mentioned earlier. I wasn't talking about Dallas at all.
Okay.
I was talking about an analogy that people think everything is great in other cities.
Okay.
And they pay attention.
Okay.
And the thing, and so and so Kenneth Gamble asked. He mentioned he specifies Dallas. He says, well, Dallas seems to be on the same page with the kids they anoint. It's not, and Stacey says not at all. I see this now, and I know they're not on the same. Stacey know I know that, but I don't expect them to be. Just that,
right.
I mean, city is on the same page like that. I don't know where you guys are getting it from. Nobody's on the same page like that. It's just that my thing is we're paying too much attention to what's across the street. And instead of looking and paying attention, is taking a step back and realizing, once again, you have it good in Houston. Dallas have it good. Are they on the same page? Hell no. They got it good.
Yeah.
But and guess what? In some years, it's going to be better in one city than it is in the other. It's just that sometimes you guys you can't wait until high tide comes and say, hey, we the king, no, it happens. It goes peaks and valleys for both. But as I said, and I say it again, if you take think about it like this, the number 10 player in Dallas or the number 10 player in Houston is going to be better than the number 10 player on a year-to-year basis. That number 10 player in those cities is probably going to be better than 99% of the cities in the country on a year-to-year basis. You take just a running 10-year span, or even say 5 years. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That means you got it good. The block is hot. It just ain't scorching. It's a talent of Diplo, yeah. But still, the talent around the country is a dip as well. You got to realize that. It ain't like we down and everybody else went upward. Some schools have peaks and valleys. Hell, is New York City down? Think about it. People were laughing. It was just a couple of years ago when I used to get it and have when Mo Elrod made T-shirts. He's from Chicago. He came to Houston and made shirts. Said Texas, the new Mecca. He didn't make those shirts as a mockery.
Jimmy.
He saw what he saw coming from Chicago, which is one of the most talented and historic cities for basketball ever.
Jimmy, I know I got somewhere to go, but this is important to me. I want you to address King Gamble, because I be hearing this sometime. He said, I see the same guys being talked about by all of y'all. That's what I mean. What you mean? What you mean? What you mean the same guys they talk about?
No, he responding to Stacey Houston. He talking about in Dallas as his statement. He's responding. I'm getting as a response to Stacey's comment. So he's talking about Dallas. He sees some of the same Dallas guys being talked about by all of y'all, meaning the guys in Dallas. That's what he means.
Oh.
And
okay, you probably
and it's like right now, like right now.
Okay.
Say the anointing. There's a lot of people in Houston right now that's not big fans of the basketball productivity that they've seen or not seen from Tyler Smith, right? Because Tyler Smith played as a reserve on his high school team on varsity, and
you talking about
on a talented varsity team that that had they was one injury away, had they not received injury, could have possibly been a state contender. But he was reserved as a freshman. Some games he didn't play but a couple of minutes here and there. Some games he played and did what a reserve supposed to do. But then he ended up being ranked.
Almost beat Hightower, Coach. He almost beat Hightower. But keep going. I was at that game. But keep going.
And he gets a high ranking nationally by Paul Biancardi and ESPN.
Okay.
And this is what I'm saying. So what happens is the bitterness and the venom comes from within the area because people will say, man, he ain't this, he ain't that. So that's where it comes. And it comes from a lot of the people that don't have the electoral votes.
But Jamie, Jamie, I was at your event, your 9th grade event. Okay? He was the best player in that event.
Which one?
At the Ruck on the
middle
Wood
school championship.
Yeah, Rucker Wood. Yeah. When he played at the Ruck on Wood, that's how I knew about it.
About last year?
Yeah, I'm talking about last year. Yeah, I'm talking about last year. So when I see that, and I happen to go to a few of the games, and I happen to see him go and play against Hightower, he almost not single-handed, but he was the catalyst in they almost beat Hightower. So I left it alone, but the coach just wouldn't play him. I don't know nothing about the coach. I don't know what was going on over there. But it's hard. Yeah. But it's hard to make the club from the tub. When I saw him play, he played well. But when I didn't go to the games, I find out he ain't winning the game. So, but he was a freshman, so it didn't matter to me. So, you help me with this. So, Paul Biancardi don't live here. So, how the hell he come and say he?
Well,
how that happen?
And I speak with Paul a lot, and so number one, I had to give Tyler my blessings to Paul.
I got you.
Now, with Tyler, the thing is, remember I say we make here to go because it got to fit. It got to. Remember I say the range. Remember with rankings, and I always give the narrative about the range. If you're in the right range, if you're in the right section, if you're in the right area, then you're not then you're right there. Well, for of a player, Tyler was supposed to be easily the top 25.
What?
But then Paul.
Okay. In the country?
Right?
Okay.
Now also.
Okay.
Also, Paul ended up talking with somebody else, and they convinced him to propel him all the way up to near the top 10. So now, based on his high school season, and you say the productivity, that's a different territory. Once you're ranked that high, the expectations are of James Harden proportion. You've never been the hunted before. You all of a sudden becomes the hunted. So I say, oh man. So I was concerned, man. He may not even know they coming at him like this. As opposed to being in 25, then maybe, then you go up to maybe 18, 16, then go up to 12, 11, 10. It's a gradual progression. They thrust you up there that early, and that means, of course, Paul saw something that he liked on the video, and Paul, based on his intel that he got, and he probably asked a couple of college coaches. So that's my concern. I'm like, ooh.
Your concern is, okay, 25 was okay, but you rather him have 25 with a bullet coming up.
Yes.
And being at 10, and you understand. I'm just trying to I'm just trying to figure out, y'all, because this is what, listen, I'm not an expert at this. But if he put him there, why couldn't, my thing is, and what I told Tyler, dude, you got to stay there. If you there, you got to, when somebody do that to you, that you got to work harder. And for what I've heard and for what I've seen, the kid done turn it up a notch working harder. So you can come
and that's what time will tell. And now I'm looking on here and I see Miss Mackey saying that you are the one that we heard that said that the most. Miss Mackey, understand something.
I didn't see it.
And I'm looking on the feed, and right now, so get your facts. They are saying that you're saying that. So understand something.
Saying you saying what?
That that's saying that I'm saying, I guess, negatizing him. I validated your son for a top 25 in ESPN. If I'm negatizing his ass, wouldn't have got ranked at all. So let's stop that right there.
Okay, I'm glad.
There's nobody in this city that has a greater relationship with Paul Biancardi or ESPN than myself, a longer relationship that's in this basketball community. Nobody. Understand this. So I don't validate him. He don't get there. Now, he might not, I didn't validate him to go that high.
Right.
So now what happens is now there's a range because now he's high enough to make other people to create the animosity.
So
you
how does the kid, so if the kid is in this position, what's the best advice for him?
The advice now to realize that the stakes are different. It ain't fun no more. He don't get a chance to have fun with this stuff right now. You see? Like some kids, you want to tell them, hey man, have you some fun, man, enjoy the game.
It's business.
It ain't fun now. It can't be fun.
Okay.
It's like Jimmy Butler say, every game is a business trip now.
That's right.
And how you gonna tell it to a 15-year-old kid?
Wow.
See what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's what happens now.
Wow.
Because in the state collectively.
Wow.
And the thing is, a lot of people that you know how to, I understand something. Parents, y'all may not know this. I don't know who there's no telling how they portray me to a lot of the parents, but I'm not the boogeyman. I'm that proponent for the parent to help empower the parent. I'm the worst nightmare for the establishment because the establishment knows that I don't owe it nothing.
I got a question, Jimmy. Have you always had, because Stacy just mentioned two comments. He said Mr. Hicks is using the same outline he used for Bryce Griggs. Mr. Hicks is not just sold that high yet, and that's okay. But Mr. Hicks is always have been patient on giving his blessing to the top kids in Houston. Why?
Well,
is that true or not?
Trial and error over a period of time. And this is where it goes. Over a period of time, you're gonna get some right. It's like Denzel says in that movie, you got the hits with the misses. Well, you look on a lot of the misses, and they may not seem like much, but those misses, a lot of those kids, when you say misses, meaning that the kids you anointed or help anoint and put air in the tire, and they flatlined or they didn't live up to that hype. A lot of those kids, mental health took a toll on a lot of the kids. A lot of kids end up not even wanting to play basketball in college no more. A lot of kids end up going and you anoint them and you be part of the problem without being a part of the solution. Then they'll grow up and get 30 years old and hate your guts, not knowing that you was trying to help them with that. So I don't give that out as quick as others may do. And that may be a problem with the city because everybody want it early. Everybody want that microwave hype. Well, my stuff might have to go on the grill. And that's the thing. And so I just don't. I want to wait because when I do it, to me personally, it's like co-signing a loan. when I co-sign that loan, then I'm on their ass all the way on through. And I know in my history, when I get and hammer on the kid nationally, I have about a 90% rate of success. Once that stamp goes on, I'm not giving a stamp just because you want me to get a stamp. It's gonna come. And then some people, I won't even tell them it's gonna come. I just tell them you just gotta keep this. But I tell you, it's gonna come. It's like when Heather, me and you talked about Bryce. I say, when we talk about USA, I say, man, it's gonna come because all you gotta do is keep doing what he's doing, and you will eliminate the excuses that they are giving. Remember, it was a jacket on his back that had to take time to be removed. That jacket 4 years ago or 3 years ago was his demeanor on the court towards getting technicals or stuff. Well, that is.
He was a baby.
Takes time.
He was a baby.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but people understand. Remember, so then what happens is the stakes were higher for Bryce, for some people, and that started to make it not fun. It started to make it not fun. When the stakes get higher, this stuff ain't fun for a lot of people no more. Because now you realize when you're playing games, or when you're engaging in competition, and you get to the playoffs, and you realize that it feels like, wait a minute, these white folks, it's like they hate me. It feel like this is some blacks on this side. Why? It feel like they, wait a minute, this is basketball. Wait a minute, this guy really going at me? You don't realize the stakes higher. So my thing is, and guess what?
But Jimmy, to parents who actually think, you got to answer this one. You have to answer this one, because it is parents that actually think, and that you have it out for their kid. Parents think like that. I'm just telling you, it's parents.
Well, most are influenced to think like that. You see? Okay. And that's the key. That's why I'm paying attention. Many are influenced. Like we just had the parent just a while ago, on him, and she mentioned she hears this all the time, and she said, "Well, Jimmy, call the mom, call the parent." And I'm like,
"Do you have her number?"
I didn't even know. Doug has a number. We probably have it in Rock on Wood paperwork from last year. Okay. That's Doug's responsibility primarily to govern those.
I got you.
Underclass. So the thing is,
that's right.
Think about it like this, Alan. Okay. If I don't know it's a problem, right? But you, the parent, think that it possibly could be a problem. Here's the question: why don't you call me?
Okay.
There ain't a parent that's on this thread that could tell you they ever text messaged me or emailed me or called me that I ain't replied. I respond to everybody. You know why? Bills paid. And once and then know what I get all the time? The most common thing I get? Hell, I even got it from you, Heather. Remember back in the day? Man, they told me, man, you was this, you wasn't, they only mess with you. People, that was what, 13 years ago?
Oh, yeah. They told me.
So think about it. If they were saying that to you, think about what they saying to the parents now.
You're right. You know what? I forgot about that. I promise you, I forgot about that. But they did.
Everybody meet me this past weekend. We was down in Austin. After the event was over, guess what Craig Carlton and them guys said? Man, next week, because they never been in that close around in the room with me. You know, Craig got a nice spread, Adam. Nice spread.
Which school is Craig?
Yeah, nice spread.
Craig. Which Craig?
Craig who we had on the show last Thursday.
Craig. Okay.
Craig got a nice spread. Right. I'm talking about like he got 3 full court basketball courts in the backyard and a putting green.
Oh yeah, he
got a nice spread.
I'm gonna be like Craig.
He got. Hey, now when I left Craig, what they said the next morning, he called early the next morning about 7 a.m. Said, man, I didn't know you partied like that. I say, well, I didn't know you was, and because you have to realize how many people that then came to me and then lied to me, that then tried their best to use the influence with me, thinking that they can go and get me a flapjack or a shrimp basket, that think that sways me. So you see people coming all the time. You have to have some form of shell to protect yourself. So that's why a lot of times you don't see me dialoguing with everybody when I go in the gym and whatnot, especially with kids. So the kids, they think they don't know what I don't. My language as a 50-something-year-old man doesn't necessarily translate to what the hell going on with these with a 15-year-old. I'd rather talk to their parents. And any parent out there, they already know. You guys, it's been like that for years. And I say it all the time. Just now, people get it the wrong way. You got to cook out and invite me and watch if I show up or not.
Don't invite him, y'all. He calling them for that food. And please don't have no damn crab. I mean, what you call them things? Crawfish. Crawfish. Oh, my God.
Your kid going to get ranked higher. No. But that gives you an opportunity to have a candid conversation or relations and be able to understand that I'm not the boogeyman. If anybody invite me, I'm coming. Pretty much so, unless I'm already booked up for something else. I'm about as easy as it gets. And them guys know they go out and we go hang out. You know, I mean, everything, picking up the tab, everything else. I'm just as easy as it gets. But we got to get up out of here, man. Tomorrow is a big day on the Chop Shop. I'm telling you, we're going to get this conversation going.
Jimmy, we talk so long. Braylon Addison is on the line. Said, what's up? It said, hey, man, we talked so long. Braylon probably got out of workout or got out of practice and called us. We done talked so long. This is the first, Jimmy. This is the first time we ever extended to 3 o'clock. Ever. But guess what? We answered some questions that needed to be answered today. And I'm glad they were. I promise you I'm glad they were. So tomorrow, we can get us on out here so I can go get me something to eat.
Yeah, man, it's that time, guys. And thanks so much for just hanging with us during this overtime session, man. We got to get up out of here. And you know what? You know, Anissa asked earlier, Hatter.
I know.
And this may be a good idea. I don't know.
What?
It could be a bad idea.
What, man? You trying to go?
I'm with it. It's up to y'all. What? If y'all want it, y'all vote on it on the Boom Boom Room. Okay. And she asked, you probably missed it. She says earlier, how do y'all feel, the Chop Shop, about doing a what do they call it, a Facebook Live during a portion of the Rockets game? I can't do it for the whole game, guys, but I probably can do it for, y'all want to do it for one particular quarter. So
I'm not messing with y'all, man, when I'm at my boys playing. I'm not messing with you haters. Heck no. Jimmy, you can be on there. I'm not messing with you haters, man. But guess what? Hold up. If everybody want to do it, I'm a team player. But I don't want to really talk. I don't really want to watch that Rockets with these haters. They be hating on my nephew too much, man.
This stuff can really be fun tonight. So y'all let us know if y'all hit us, if y'all want to do it. If we get 20 people that's down with it. If 20 people down with it, and they said, and let us know. But like I said, we got to pick the quarter. Either gonna do the first quarter or the fourth quarter. First quarter might be better than the fourth quarter. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? The fourth quarter.
Why can't we come at halftime? Why can't we come and do our halftime analogy of the first half?
Halftime. Halftime might work.
I hate y'all.
It might work.
I hate y'all, man. I really do. Because I know this is a setup for me. In the Nissa, this is a setup for me. But guess what, y'all? I'm going to do it. I'm a team player. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do me. I'll do it. So
hey, guess what? You already know who announcing the damn games. So you're going to need somebody to have to energize everybody going to the second half.
Not Chris Webber.
No. Chris Webber. He did all the Rockets, this whole series with the Rockets.
Okay.
And Mark Jackson did the other series, which they should have had Mark them doing our game. But at the same time, Chris Webber, his public sentiment has went up since that statement he made, the other night. So that was kind of cool last week. But that might be good. They said let's do it, man. I'm down.
All right, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna figure it out. I'll figure it out and make it happen.
Halftime is like 10 minutes. That's good enough time.
Yeah. That's good enough time. Yeah. All right. Halftime.
It's time to slide on down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing on Women Rock Wednesday. Shout out to all the ladies. Thanks so much, and thanks so much for the courageness of Miss Mackey, for voicing her thoughts on there, and keeping it above the belt. Yes. I know some parents, some parents would have went on and went a different direction with it.
Yes,
and I
class.
understand you totally. We will communicate, and I like I say, I thanks for everybody. You know, that's the thing. We talk, get stuff on the table, iron the wrinkles out, and guess what? Put the shirt on. Creases on the sleeve, though, baby. Creases on the sleeve. Chop, chop. We help out here. See you guys tomorrow.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop.